Clobbering time!
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger. Ready to move out.
Wow, that was fantastic. Well done. Love it. Love it. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Clobbering Times. This is you number 455, 1,155 overall, even though I put it wrong in the title for some reason. I have to change that later. But anyway, welcome to Saturday Night Star Trek number 93. We indeed. Hey, hey, hey. Welcome, my good friends.
Albert.
Apologies. Oh, there you go. My apologies for the late start, everyone. My bad. Had some issues to handle. But we're here. Started late, but we're here. And you are all here too. And I'm just so happy to see you, my good friends. I hope I've been able to get all the names down. People pouring in, and it's just fantastic to see you all again on this lovely Saturday night. This Halloween, I guess Saturday night. I know it's pretty much Halloween, you know, because I know Monday night's really Halloween. So a lot of people are out, well, Halloweening.
Yeah.
I guess.
A lot of parties, a lot of staff parties, a lot of
Yeah.
work parties, a lot of family parties. Lots of people getting together tonight and tomorrow
Yeah,
night.
but we still got a good crowd with us, a great crowd. Look at this. A lot of our fantastic friends are here. So that's great. That's great. Not out cosplay, not out at costume parties or anything, I guess. But it's good to see you all, my friends. Fantastic. And of course, as always, my dear colleagues, say hello to the most wonderful first officer in the fleet. Welcome, Commander Wonderful R.M. Briggs. Great to see you. Love you.
I love you. It's a wonderful honor to be here this evening. Everyone is probably wondering, what's up with my avatar? Well, today on social media, there were people who were sort of piling on this idea that you can't have sexy costumes, and certainly not sexy costumes from professional jobs. So I saw that and I thought instantly, well, I'm gonna take out the grammar commissioner because I sexualized the grammar commissioner, and so take that, you party poopers.
Yeah, you party
Yeah.
You party poopy heads.
Don't be a party pooper.
Yeah, don't be a party pooper.
It's okay to be
head.
a sexy nurse. It's okay to be a sexy
of course
cop.
it is.
It's okay to be a sexy teacher. It's okay to be a sexy construction worker.
Yeah,
Sexy lab person. Do your thing.
It's okay to be sexy. I mean, I don't know how, but I know I'm sure some of you do. So, and that's all that matters. If you know how, go for it. Since we got a late start, we will get on to it quickly to no real show notes of note that I have. So we'll just start with our greetings. How about that? We'll get that out of the way so we can get to reviewing. Let's see.
Well, before we do that, I'm just going to pop this up on the stream really fast.
What? Oh,
hysterical.
Okay.
So just so everyone knows, Marina Sirtis has left Twitter.
No, she hasn't.
Just so you know, she's left. She had a bit of a tantrum. There was a bit of stomping, a little bit of leg kicking, a little bit of sniveling, a little bit of whining. And I'm sure she will be back because, when you need attention, where do you go?
Yeah.
So here you have it, folks, her reasons. And you see her attitude in 2017, and then you see her attitude in 2022. Same person.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm going to say about that. And sorry for interrupting you, Boss,
That's all right.
but it is Star Trek news. So
Yeah.
in Star Trek news, you will no longer see Marina saying horrendous things to and about Star Trek fans. So there you have it, folks.
For about 3 days, and then she'll be back as PJ and many others in the chat are no doubt pointing out. Hey there, PJ. I see you there. Marina. Yeah, whatever. Goodbye. Yeah, bye. And she's just an idiot. So let's see here before we start out. Well, let's start with our hellos. I'm trying to get everybody's names in there. But I want to thank the great Eric K for this $5 super chat, since we're about to start our shout outs anyway. Thank you for the great bronze wrencher, buddy. Appreciate you being here. As always, that wrencher of bronze says,
love you.
For $5. Thank you, buddy. He says, all I am dressing up. Oh, let's see. Hey, all I'm dressing up as Lady Godiva without the wig tonight. Lol, kidding. I'll be with you all when the steak is done.
Ah, steak, eh?
Hey,
Jelly.
some steak. Niceness. Good to see you. Thank you, the great Eric K. Also here with us this evening. We have our crew here. Well, I'm sure Mark D's out there somewhere. We had a great time last night, by the way, at Mark D. Thank you for everyone who showed up by Mark D. Helped put on watch party we had, watching Mad Monster Party, and it was a lot of fun. We need to do that sort of thing more often. Great stuff, though. It was really great last night. Yeah. Let's see here. Sorry. With us, of course, is the great vindicator wrench of the North, Chris Persia, my friend. Thank you for all you do.
And your beautiful advertisement that you put all over the socials tonight. Outstanding as usual. I love you very much. Thank you for everything you do to support this channel and this show. You are such a great friend to us. We love, love, love you.
Thank you so much. And of course, the wrench of iron, the great D-Bud Martin Tuska lives, buddy. Good to see you. And thank you so much.
Love you.
For being here, man. It is great to have you here. Oh, thank you. A big shout out also to the great Max Redstone. Good to see you, Max. Thanks for being here. He's got a $2 super chat, and he says, as long as I'm not as big a fan of bubes as long as I'm not as big of a bube. Oh, as long as I think he means as long as I'm not as big as a bube as big as a boob. Sorry, now I'm making it even more sense. As Marina. I got you. I know what you meant, buddy. And thank you so much. To the great Max Redstone. Appreciate you, bro.
Maximum Redstone.
Let's see here. Indeed, the great Max Redstone. Always a pleasure. Thank you, buddy. Let's see who else is here with us this evening. I know he's lurking out there. The great J-Man. Buddy, as always, great to have you out there, man. You take care, my friend. And I'm glad you're here. And I hope you and yours are doing well. Everyone, please go to and subscribe to J-Man's great channel.
Do it.
Let's see here. Did I see Jill here?
You did.
I want to make sure because the wonderful anti-derivative Jill, our communications officer, is here.
She is present. She has reported for duty.
Right.
Duty.
Yada. Yeah. And so we got that's great. Let's see. Sorry. To see Jill, I just want to make sure the great Lord Thoth is here.
LT!
Security chief. All right, buddy. Good to see you, man. And hail to the lovely Lady Thoth, of course.
Yes. Very nice to see you. Beautiful couple.
Trying to make sure I'm not missing anybody here, but I'm trying to get all the names down that I can. Okay. Also with us is Shooter 8323. Long time no see, sir. Good to see you.
Pew, 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 pew.
Our lovely new friend, Michelle O'Rourke Johansson. Hello there, Michelle. We're so happy to see you. Very happy to see you here with us tonight. Thank you for being here. I hope you're doing well. $5 super chat from the Mr. Rob Altus. Thank you so much, Rob. You're too kind. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. He says, Clobby, my friend, said prisoner figures are in the U.S. addresses being affixed and soon to ship out. Yeah! Are in U.S. addresses being affixed soon and are ready to ship out. Man, you are number 6. I cannot wait to get mine. That is such good news.
We're going to have to do some type of unboxing.
I'll do it. I don't go on camera, as you know.
No, I know, but we'll figure out a way to do it.
I'll show pictures for sure.
Yes, please.
Man, thank you so much for that. You just really cheered me up big time, Rob. You're the one who helped me remember to put my info in to make sure I get mine. So I cannot wait to get my prisoner figure. The great Mark D with a C is here with us, of course.
Mark D with a C.
Had a great time last night, buddy. Thank everyone. Give a round of applause to the great Mark D with a C for that big monster party.
The hostess with the mostest.
We had, yeah.
What a fun flick that was. We all had such a great time.
Yep, indeed. Listen, it was a lot of fun last night. That was a mad monster party. Everybody was great. Anyway, Pleasant Valley Picker, welcome.
Hello.
Let's see. Brian Hepburn, good to see you, my friend. Welcome. Dave G. Sound, hope you're doing well, my friend.
Yeah, hope the shoulder's feeling a little bit better, honey.
The great Super One himself, Kal-El. What's up, my
Kal-El,
friend?
the real soap, Stephen M.
Zathras is here.
Whom?
Zathras.
Oh, crap. Zathras.
Zathras. And he's anything but. He's a great friend. Das Wolfen. Hello.
Wolfen.
Oh, my goodness. I love it when we have lovely ladies here. The lovely Sherry. I want to put her picture up there because I just love looking at
so good to see you.
She's beautiful. What's up, beautiful? Good to see you there. Nirat and Axamanda Bear. Welcome.
Axamanda Bear.
Let's not forget that Phantom Outsider is the man. Was a big man and still is. The Catman, a.k.a. D.D. Myers.
And his lovely wife, Catman
Indeed.
Moo.
Dad Man is here. All right, Dad Man and the Dad Man clan. I hope you're all doing great, my friend. The great ED himself, enigmatic drop bear. Hello.
Looking forward to the comments tonight from the erudite bear from down under.
Yes, indeed. Good to see you, my friend. I'm so glad to have you here. Pat S. Buddy, what's up, man?
Oh, Pat. It's so
been
good
a
to
while,
see
buddy.
you.
I hope you're doing great. The great Pat S. Good buddy. Hope things are going well for you, man.
I have to step away from the computer for 2 seconds, everyone. I'm just going to go and grab an Advil. I have a touch of a headache. I'm not going to ignore your
go for it.
hellos from the boss. I'm going to let the boss say hello. I'll be right back.
We'll get that and we'll get right to business. So after we get the hellos done, Tyrell72, hey there. Michael Beacom, what's up, buddy? And hail, shout out to Cassandra as well. Hope you all are doing great. Let's see here. Who else we got? Orville Nation. PJ, what is up, old chum? Good to see you. The great Orville Nation. Please, of course, if you're an Orville fan and other things, of course, too. PJ's got a great channel and is an awesome fellow and a great friend of Clobbering Times. And PJ, I hope you're doing well, buddy. Let's see here. Sandra Feliciano. Big shout out to Sandra and Raymond. It was Raymond's birthday. Happy birthday to our wonderful friend Raymond Feliciano. I don't know if Raymond's out there right now. He's probably tired from that long stream he did, but Sandra and Raymond, happy birthday to Raymond. And happy anniversary to your channel, which everyone please go subscribe to King Dolphin TV. I can't do it.
King Dolphin TV.
There you go. Go to King Dolphin. And Raymond or Sandra can put that link in there if you would like. And good to see you, Sandra. I haven't seen Raymond pop in, but that's okay. So tell him once again, reiterate my happy birthday wishes to him and my congrats on your channel. I lurked at the stream as long as I could today when running around doing stuff.
Did you see this in the chat? Dave just gave us an update. He says another 3 weeks away from work. He doesn't have to take pain pills anymore, which he hates because they make him feel sick. So I'm so glad that you're feeling better, honey. That is such good news. And I'm glad you don't have to take medicine that makes you ill. We were all very concerned for you. And you know what? We're all still sending positive vibes, prayers, good feelings, warm thoughts, and soft hugs to you, Dave G. Sound.
Feel better, my friend. Feel better. Good luck and best wishes to you. And thank you, D-Bud Martin, for putting the link there to King Dolphin TV. Let's see here. Look who's here. Apollome's Minion and...
The pepperoni. Oh, there's Simi!
Yay, Simi. We love Simi. We
do.
Love you, Apollo. Hope you're doing well. Both hands on the wheel, young lady.
Safe travels.
Yes, indeed. Safe indeed. Let's see here. Michael Carney. I don't know if we've seen Michael Carney pop in before, but if we either way, Michael Carney, thank you for popping in.
Welcome, Michael.
Let's see. Let's see. Tim's Talk on your left. What's up, buddy?
Tim's Talk. Nice to see you.
Classic Comics. What is up, my friend?
Hey, nice to see you as well.
And Wolfie is here. And Wolfie, I see your I see what you sent, and yes, I will take a look at that later if you help me remember a bit later.
Did he send goodies?
I think he sent a couple pictures, but yes, thank you, Wolfie.
Goodies.
Let's see. So, all right, let's get it down to business now. Michelle, it's tough for me to see all the chats in there. I see what you're saying now. Do you see what I said about what happened after I post some of my art to face? I did not see that, my dear. We're on a bit of a schedule if you want to reiterate it, though. I mean, in the UK, usually listen in bed. Oh, thank you, Michael. We appreciate you.
So, Michael, this is the first time that you've jumped into the chat, but you're a regular listener. Michael, it is so nice to meet you. Yeah. Everyone, please give Michael Carney a Saturday Night Star Trek welcome.
Yes, please do.
So cool that you spoke up in the chat. Welcome. Very, very flattered to have you here. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here. Now, Michelle said she got a few people asking for her to paint some. Well, paint for them. Well, that's fantastic.
Oh,
You do wonderful work, and that's great to hear. So I'm glad to hear that, Michelle. Excellent. And a big shout out to all of those who we don't do it enough. I don't do it enough, and I should. Who are lurking. Some people can't always mess around with the chat for whatever reasons. They're out on the road. They just don't care much to get into all the chat thing, or they're listening on a repeat or a download or a rewatch, whatever you want to call it. I want to thank you as well. We really appreciate you and everyone. And so we started late, everyone, and I know we always take a while. Look, I know if you're new here, yes, we take a while on our hellos and all that stuff, and even our goodbyes, but it's because we love everyone hanging out with us. As part of Saturday Night Star Trek is you. It's us making this like it's a big hangout. We're all bumping into each other at a con or a comic shop and just talking about, in this case, Star Trek, things that we love. Thank you, Max Redstone. I see that. Thank you. And we'd like to make it feel as interactive as we possibly can. So we like to say hellos. Now, obviously, once we get going, it's tough for us anyway to see all the chats, but we hope you're all having a fantastic time hanging out with each other in the chat. I know we'll get to see it all, and we certainly don't have no time to respond to all of it, but we like to interact as much as we can, and we want you to know we appreciate you. So we like to get everyone a shout out with it, and even at the end we do it. So now what we do in Saturday Night Star Trek, for anyone who does not know, is in January of 2021, Raquel and I took upon an insane mission, and that is to review all of Real Star Trek. Real Star Trek means, of course, to us, everyone can have their own little opinion on it, but in my opinion, it is 1966 through 2005. Nothing with that, legally or not, on the labeled Star Trek after that point is legitimate Star Trek. In just my opinion, that's just the way I will. Oh, no one could ever talk me out of it. So that's all filth to me if it's not, before 2005. Even that doesn't mean all of Star Trek's perfect. No one's saying that. Just saying that, there's this Roddenberry Trek that was entrusted to the Bermans and the people after that, for better or worse, later. And then there's filth, and that's a fan opinion, and I stick to it. But anyway, so we're going to review it all. The 735 Club, as my wonderful first officer has dubbed it, because there are 735 segments. We started out reviewing the original series, then the animated series, the original crew films. We've reviewed all of Star Trek: The Next Generation, and we are now almost smack dab in the middle somewhere of Star Trek Deep Space Nine Season 3. We try to do 4 episodes tonight on the regular shows, and we have 4 episodes for you tonight. And it's going to take us years to do this, but we're doing it.
Yeah, because it's a celebration, and it doesn't matter how long it takes. Everybody, say hello to Grimdark in Theater.
Grimdark in Theater. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome.
And Michael Carney says he's been here before. That is so cool. And also, before we get started, because I was off taking a headache pill, I missed saying to Tyrell. Hey,
Tyrell.
Sweetheart, don't work too hard tonight. Work safe. We love you very much. Thank you for listening to us while you're at work, and we'll see you at the end of the show. Mwah.
Das Wolfman says, Clobby, I am part of pop culture minefield. It is ADD theater. This is professional compared to that. Well, I love my boys over there at Pop Culture Minefield. Gary and Keith, don't tell him I called him Jerry. In fact, tell him I called him Gary, just so he can tell me to F off. So he can tell me an F off. Now, Gary is good people, and so is Keith and all those people. We love those guys over at Pop Culture Minefield. I haven't seen them in a while, but they have a great channel over there, and please go subscribe to that one. They're just some fantastic blokes.
Cassandra just walks through the door.
Hey, Cassandra.
Hello, Mrs. Beacom. How are you, you fine woman?
Good to see you there. So what we're doing, of course, as I said, we're reviewing all of Star Trek tonight. Of course, I'm about to turn it over to my wonderful first officer, Commander R.M. Briggs, and she will fill us in. We had been using this book right here as a source, and she'll explain that and then explain what we're doing, and then we'll get on to review our first episode. So I'm turning over the bridge, temporarily here to the wonderful Commander Briggs. Go for it.
Thank you so much, Captain. Yeah, so if you're joining us and you're just listening in like an old time radio hour, there's a visual on the screen right now, and it is the front cover of a book called Star Trek Deep Space Nine Companion. It's written by Terry J. Erdman, and he gets a bit of help from his wife, Paula M. Block. Now, the reason why we use these texts is the vetted material inside of them. And this is the official book of the DS9 portion of our journey to review all of the 735, all of Star Trek from 66 to 2005. The problem is that Terry J. Erdman writes a little bit differently than his wife. Paula M. Block, she writes very short summaries. She gives lots of sexy insider info. She gets rid of rumors, or she says, no, those rumors are true. She's quite lovely and very, very concise. Terry, on the other hand, is, wow.
Verbose?
Yes, it's quite bad. I think Mark and I counted out on average the coverage of being between 15 and 17 pages long. And so that has sort of interrupted the mojo of our show, because we want this to be like we're all meeting at the cafeteria in front of the con and we're all talking about Star Trek. We didn't want it to be so long and so drawn out. But if you're new here, you should know every iteration we do of Star Trek, we read a book together, and I make sure that it's very short and very saucy and very enjoyable. So I still recommend you pick up this book, but this book is for reading in the privacy of your own home, and we can't use it. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the plot summaries from Wikipedia. Now, they're pretty hard to mess up, but we try to avoid the user-generated information that's out there on IMDb and Memory Alpha and these other places, because a lot of the time it's not true. It's just simply not true. It's user-generated stuff, and so we avoid.
But a synopsis is no big deal. You could just get
right.
All you need is really a synopsis for what we do. All you need is a synopsis.
Yeah, exactly.
So, shall we start with our first episode of the evening?
Let's do it. I ought to mention before we move along that Cassandra Beacom and Michael Beacom, they have the text on file. So
Yes,
they will pepper the chat with this beautiful, what we call in academia, in-text citation. So Cassandra or Michael will drop stuff in the chat. I want you to know that that's reliable information. That's not from Memory Alpha. It's not the garbage on IMDb that has become factoid. It's the good stuff. So watch out for those comments from the Beacons who have this lovely text. Sorry about that, boss.
No problemo. Our first episode of the evening is Defiant.
Defiant is season 3, episode 9. Now, this is an international crowd, so if you're scratching your head wondering why your streaming service isn't matching up with these numbers, it's prod code 455. You'll find it in the text under prod code 455. This episode first aired on November 21st, 1994. And so, staying copyright compliant, I'll mention again that I'm going to be reading from Wikipedia. So this doesn't belong to anyone. This is just everyone on the internet coming together to describe the plot. I'm going to be reading extemporaneously. That's cold reading. So there might be some rough spots, especially because so many different people have written these summaries. Let's do it.
What will happen is after we do this, we'll give our thoughts on the episode and rate it. Then I will ask you, my dear friends in the chat, for the obviously but for those who don't know, we get our friends in the chat to give a rating and a few words because we're getting so many people and we're getting so many now. If you could keep it under 5, I'd appreciate it. But because so much is so. If again, I understand if you have to go above that a little bit, but you get so many of us now. We're getting more and more chats. It helps us the flow better. So
it does. So try and keep those multi-parters to 5 and under, please, folks.
If you can. That's only because we got so many now.
That's right. And it's important that we hear as many of those voices as we possibly can and to keep it fun. Okay, so without further ado, let's do it! William Riker arrives on Deep Space Nine and proceeds to charm the crew, especially Major Kira. She takes him on a tour of the station and its new ship, the Defiant. Once aboard, he draws a phaser and stuns her, fakes a warp core breach, and steals the ship with Kira aboard. The station crew soon discovers that the thief was not Will Riker, but his duplicate, Thomas Riker, who was created in a transporter accident and inadvertently stranded for 8 years. Trying to distinguish himself from his more successful doppelganger, he has joined the Maquis. The heavily armed Defiant under Maquis control now poses a serious threat to Cardassian forces. Commander Sisko is faced with the challenge of retrieving the Defiant intact while avoiding an incident with Cardassia that might start a war. He agrees to travel to Cardassia Prime to cooperate with a Cardassian operation led by Gul Dukat to hunt Riker down. The operation is observed by the Obsidian Order, the feared Cardassian intelligence agency. After infiltrating Cardassian space and attacking an outpost, Riker takes the Defiant to the Orion system, which he believes contains a secret shipbuilding facility. When Sisko analyzes Riker's movements and realizes that his target is Orius, Dukat, believing the system to be barren and of no value, orders his ships to intercept. His Obsidian Order observer, Corinus, however, warns him that any ship, Cardassian or otherwise, that approaches this system will be destroyed. The Defiant manages to outrun its pursuers into the Orion system, but is confronted by several more Cardassian ships appearing from the system itself. Suspicious, Dukat confronts Corinus, inferring that the ships from the Orion system must belong to the Obsidian Order, who are strictly forbidden from possessing military equipment of any kind. With the Defiant trapped between the two fleets, Sisko arranges a deal with Dukat in exchange for the Defiant's sensor logs of the system, which will provide evidence of the Obsidian Order's illegal military buildup. The Defiant will surrender to Dukat's lead ship and will be returned along with its crew to the Federation. And Riker will be sentenced to a Cardassian labor camp rather than death. Kira persuades Riker to accept the terms. The opposing ship approaches the Defiant and its Cardassian escorts, but abort the confrontation and return to the Orion system. Riker beams to the Cardassian ship, leaving Kira in control to return to Deep Space Nine. And that is all the collective internet has to say about the plot of the Defiant. I'm going to throw it back over to the captain. Captain, what did you think of this episode?
First, I want to say I want to revise. Hello, Midnight's Oblivion.
Hey.
Good to see you. Welcome. And I want to revise that because I understand that 5 can be a little bit limiting for some of you. If you need to go into the 6, like in extra innings, as it will, or overtime, feel free. Believe me, it's not that big of a deal. I'm just saying, when you can be pithy, but because I know Michael Beacom and you have a lot to say sometimes, and so does ED. I don't want you to feel limited in any way.
No, don't.
You have to do it. Believe me, I can't do anything to you. I can't except maybe use the agonizer on you, and it doesn't really hurt. So
also,
fine.
Michael Beacom, in-text citation does not count. So if you are providing any quotes from the text to add veracity or to add information, I'm totally on board with that, and that doesn't count.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'd also like to say to Midnight's Oblivion. Midnight's Oblivion says, "Thank you for the membership to whomever gifted it to me."
Oh, well, yes, thank you, whoever did that. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was Eric K. I believe Eric K. Our wonderful bronze wrencher was the last person to leave an installment of money for anyone who would like to have
Eric.
a membership here. So I think it's Eric. I'm pretty sure it's Eric, but Midnight's Oblivion, thank you so much for thanking Eric and for thanking all of the other members who buy memberships for others. Really terrific.
Thank you, Eric. Okay, the episode itself, again, we've talked a lot about this. I know you don't like Mr. Fakey Pants. I actually kind of like, what's-his-face, Tom Riker better than I like Will Riker, to be honest. We got our problems with the Maquis. We've already spoken a lot about this. So there's problems with Starfleet officers defecting to the Maquis. And I do agree with a lot of that. I don't really like it. I never did. Certainly, I don't think just because I don't think whether you like Will Riker or not, I don't think Will Riker would defect to the Maquis. So I don't know. I don't think Tom would either. That's a big stretch for me. But I remember, again, it's a fairly entertaining episode, but it really aggravates me. Again, this is actually not fair to the episode or pertaining to it in a sense, but the fact that you never get any payoff satisfaction down the road when they say we won't leave you there, Tom. We won't forget you.
That's in my notes.
Why wouldn't Will Riker at some point? I know he had his issues with himself, and it's a strange predicament to be in, the copy of yourself. But it's in a sense, it's his brother. It is. And there should have, again, this is not the fault of anything to do with the story necessarily, but they should have down the road had a sequel where, Riker goes back after him. And why did Riker get angry with Chief with the Chief? He just did that because my theory on the scene where he tells, "I've got nothing to say to you, O'Brien." I think you know why. He didn't want to get in a conversation with O'Brien in front of Kira because it would make him look like a fake. So he just faked some outrage at him and just chased him away. That's what that had to be.
But some rough writing there. And before we go any further, PJ, my friend from Orville Nation, I used to be on Power Women Wednesday with Orville Nation. PJ, my friend, nice. I love you very much. And PJ is making some comments as well as Midnight's Oblivion. And they're talking about this idea of Thomas Riker. And I just want everyone to know that if you have these feelings about Thomas Riker, they're coming from a good place. And that shows me that you are a true Star Trek fan, because I can tell you for sure, this is not factoid. This is actually vetted information, so you can take it to heart, that Gene Roddenberry wanted Billy Campbell. And he really liked that idea of having Billy Campbell, who is a lot more like the Thomas Riker version. He wasn't too keen on Jonathan Fakey Pants, and Jonathan Fakey Pants had to audition multiple times, but he was another force hire. Okay, so. And this is well documented in the Paula M. Block texts. Actually, the Paula M. Block texts, and there are other sources as well, right. a few newspaper articles and so on and so forth. So if you don't like them and you like Tom better and you like this Thomas Riker character better, it is based on Gene Roddenberry's original portrayal, his original intention for William T. Riker, and it was born in the wonderful character that was created by Billy Campbell. So hip hip to you, and I doff my cap to you. You have a nose for Gene Roddenberry.
Yeah, I would. Again, I like Tom a little bit better. I mean, Will's a little bit stuffy, but again, and it's not even the fault of Fakey Pants or anybody. Just they dropped the ball by not, because this is only season 3. You had time to bring Fakey Pants back to play both Will and Tom in an episode to wrap this story up. They didn't, but nevertheless, to deal with the episode, it's again, I don't really not big on any of the Maquis stuff personally. Hello there, Matt G.
Hey, Matt, nice to see you.
Good to see you. That being said, it's a fairly entertaining episode. Some of the stuff with the Obsidian Order, Cisco and Ducat, and even I thought Frakes and Akira, Frakes and Nana Visitor were actually really good together. They had a pretty good chemistry. So on balance, just as an episode, it's fairly entertaining, but also nothing really super to write home about. That's just my take. Go with your notes.
Okay, here are my notes. I take out a pencil and a piece of paper, and I try and put my around 45 years worth of Star Trek knowledge to good use here. So these are my notes as I watch the episode. This is a Maquis episode. And don't forget, Thomas Riker is from Second Chances in TNG. Now, Thomas Riker has betrayed everything Roddenberry believed of elite military trained as elite astronauts. So that's getting back into what Clobby was saying earlier, only I just wrote it down in a completely different way when I was writing my notes. It shows you how much my captain and I are of one mind. I think it's weird that we have this Maquis thing that is already troublesome when you're looking at writing, and also when you're looking at the Gene Roddenberry design of Star Trek. So it's bothersome. It's troublesome it's problematic on a few fronts. Okay. And then now we have Thomas Riker actually going against, he is a duplicate of William Riker. And here he is going against all of his elite military training, all of his time in Starfleet, all of his Starfleet training, and then also his elite training as an astronaut. Remember, Gene Roddenberry envisioned these folks as the best of the best, the people who you would choose out of all of the billions of people on the planet to reach out beyond. So I don't like that. I'm like my captain, don't really like that. Welcome, Linrod.
Linrod, hey there. Good to see you.
And then I made a cheap shot. I was just being a bit of a smart astronaut, smartass. Warp 8. But what about the Intergalactic Accord? Because that's just me kicking bad writers behaving badly.
Hey, John Rendell.
Hello, John Rendell.
I don't know you, but welcome.
Welcome. And then I put that I thought it was interesting that the writers made the choice to make Kira play the conscience. So it's as though she's Riker's conscience, and she keeps speaking to him as the good angel on his shoulder. And I thought that was an interesting choice to have her aboard the Defiant and to have her, speaking to him and trying to appeal to his better angels, trying to appeal to his better nature. I thought it was an interesting choice because we didn't have to have her there. We could have had another way for this to happen. So I thought that was an interesting choice as far as writing goes. More Obsidian Order stuff. Ho hum. And why in the HE double hockey sticks would the Obsidian Order be barred from having any type of weapons or ships or technology or any of this other stuff? This doesn't make sense, right? Oh, hello.
Absolutely. King Dolphin TV raid. Everyone, there's the birthday boy. So you all, we're going to continue with our review, but I just want to let you know, all of them, let's all embarrass him with birthday wishes in the chat while I give him his agonizer.
Your agonizer, please. Your agonizer, please.
No, Mr. Spock!
Cakes and dolphins, cakes and dolphins. Throw up all those cakes and dolphins. Okay,
happy birthday, Raymond. Now we will
happy
continue.
Birthday. So just have a couple more sentences here. Kira promises to get Tom out of prison. Okay, we never go back to this, and I don't like that they included that. The writers don't have to include things like that. No. And what it does is it makes all of the fans come up with all of these ridiculous and preposterous excuses for why they don't go back for him. Yeah. And so it's not good writing. Just don't do stuff. If you don't have to do those things, don't do them. Tom gives up way too easy, and so does his Maquis crew. We would expect, Tom to be tenacious. We would expect his Maquis crew to be defiant. These are rebels, and they even call themselves the T word. I don't want to mess up the algorithm here on YouTube,
but the T-ist word, yes.
Yeah, they're the T-ist word, and they openly call themselves that. So why do they give up so easily? It's weird and it's unbelievable. And that's all I have in my notes.
Yeah, that's another thing. They weren't really all that defiant when you get right down to it. I mean, they weren't the kind of the squishy, not so teists without, So yeah. So so all in all, relatively, in my opinion, kind of a weak episode. Again, interesting. And at the time before I really, I got, hey, Keely Chow, old time, good to see you. At the time, before I really soured on all the whole, Riker and all that stuff, I kind of liked it. I used to like this episode a little bit better than I do now because I thought it was interesting to see him again. It was an interesting idea to bring him back. Not so sure about putting him with the Maquis. However, if you're going to do that, then don't just do the one-off and then never, and even put that line in, as you pointed out, and then never go back to it. It's really annoying.
Yeah, and why tie in the stupid Maquis? If you're going to dangle the true Gene Roddenberry version of Riker, in the form of Thomas Riker, and this is supposed to be our beloved Billy Campbell version, which is what was originally envisioned. Why sully it with this Maquis crap? Just let us love
Right.
on Thomas Riker.
That was a very good exchange. I will say there were some good things in it. Very good exchange when Kira kind of busts his butt about it, busts his balls about it, and saying, if you're not even being a good Tist, you don't know, you want to be a hero, but you can't be both. And that was actually very good. That's one of the best things in the episode. When she's telling you, well, if you're going to be one, Mr. Maquis, you ain't doing it right, pal. So that was actually pretty good stuff, because she was one.
A T-orist.
Yeah, T-orist. So anyway, all right. Number one, what is your rating of the episode Defiant?
Just not a good one for me, boss. Not terrible, but not good. It's just a C+.
I got you. I got it at a B-. I mean, I think there are a lot of worse stuff out there. I think it fell apart toward the end in a lot of ways that you've pretty much covered. I like some of the idea behind it. I don't like him being with the Maquis necessarily, but I like them bringing him back. And I don't know. I mean, look, Data has an evil brother. I guess if you want to give Riker, you can't give him an evil brother because he's an exact copy, but you have him go a different way. Not that sanguine about how they did it, but there's some interesting things in it. And overall, I don't know. There are a lot of worse things to happen later and before.
True.
So, now our wonderful friends in the chat, if you would be so kind as to give any ratings you may have for Defiant, and any words you may have for it as well. While you're doing that, I will fetch us some Max Redstone entertainment. Well, number one, stars your comments.
Yeah, I'm going to put them all into a file so that the boss can read them. So if you're new around here and you would like to give a rating, please do so. Go ahead and give it an A, a B, a C, a D, an F. And then any comments you may have, I will start. It'll go into a file for the boss, and then we'll put it up on the marquee and we'll talk about it and we'll read it out to everyone.
Go for it. And I, of course, have this from the great Max Redstone. Thank you, Max. For those who don't know, our good buddy Max Redstone is a absolutely genius lyricist. And is that a word? Lyricist? Is that how you say it? He's great at lyrics. How about that?
Yes.
Okay.
You said it perfectly. It's beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you. And when he is able to, and he gives of his talent to us as a good friend that he is, and shares a lyric about episodes of the show. And this one we have Defiant by the great Max Redstone. Let's see. On DS9, the drama does turn. For the action and suspense you may yearn. But oh, for the sin that it comes from Decker Unit's twin, whose only disguise is a set of sideburns.
Oh my gosh. That
out of the park, buddy.
Comedy gold. Stand up and take a bow. The crowd goes wild.
Out of the park, man.
That was so good. One of your best, Max. Maximum Redstone.
That's so good. I'll just do it again. So
yes, one more time.
An encore presentation of Defiant by Max Redstone. Let's see. I'll pep it up here. On DS9, the drama does turn. For the action and suspense, you may yearn. But oh, for the sin that comes from Decker Unit's twin, whose only disguise is a set of sideburns. Nice.
So
love
good.
It. Well done, sir. Well done.
I'm on mute because I'm making all of these clicking noises and it sounds crazy, but I'm laughing behind this mute. What a great limerick, Max.
Love it, man. Great
Max,
stuff.
so good.
So let's go with our. I'll start reading our reviews now. We have Mr. Midnight's Oblivion. Thank you. Says so. It's also a C for me. Says Midnight's Oblivion. Thank you so much. The Catman, aka D.D. Myers, says, Clabby, I liked Thomas Riker better too. Maquis didn't care for the Maquis, I think he means, them and give it a C overall. Thank you, Catman.
That's a great
Appreciate
review, Dee Dee. Thank you so much,
Indeed.
sweetheart.
Thank you so much. Lord Thoth LT says D-. This episode was absolutely terrible, leaving a man behind no matter what choices he makes. Loved seeing Riker, hated the plot, hate the Maquis. Riker abandoning his principles, never almost an F.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Can't blame you.
But true, every word LT just said, truth.
Yeah.
That's a cup of truth right there.
Yeah, buddy. I can't argue with that.
No.
Max Redstone says, B-. The Riker virus strikes. the dead pirate Thomas could take no prisoners. I had really hoped that towards the end of the series there would be a rescue led by Counselor Troy. I'm sorry, no, it's Troy. She was too busy being an idiot on Twitter. She probably put out some very harsh tweets to the Obsidian Order. So, with her sidekick played by Pamela Anderson, at one point they would both be running along the beach in slow motion, running to rescue the more beloved Riker. Now that I'd buy that for $1.
What if they played like the Steve Austin sound while the women ran?
Yep, that'll work for me. Dave G. Sound says, not a fresh concept. The evil doppelganger gives a fun story, yet with any transporter nexus, psychotic nebula, Romulan psyop, section 31, it's a familiar writing tool.
Yeah.
Just allowing anything.
Yeah.
Just allowing anything. Yes, sorry. C for Dave. Yep. Thank you, Dave. Sorry, I mangled that a little bit for you. I apologize.
Great comment, Dave.
Indeed, sir. Kal-El says A-. Although the reveal that William Riker's appearance on the episode was actually Thomas Riker, this episode was still entertaining and was a worthy continuation of Thomas Riker's story. Okay. I like the change between Dukat and Sisko regarding the challenge of balancing fatherhood with their respective chosen careers because it acknowledges the similarities between the two. Hang on, let me get you your next one here, Cal. Just a second, gotta find it. Okay, 3. Despite their different worldviews. Okay. I'm sorry, continue to that. The ending too was a satisfying one, with Thomas Riker willingly giving himself up to save his crew, albeit with some encouragement from Kira. Overall, hang on. Gotta find your fourth one. And
Captain Infinity just walks through the door.
Captain Infinity and beyond. What's up, Cap?
Infinity?
Good to see you, man.
Nice to see you, sweetheart.
Boy, I have some things. I have something for him tonight that when we get to a certain episode. Cap, I got something for you, in a sense. Bring your earmuffs. This was an enjoyable episode despite the obvious reveal earlier in the story. Thank you, great Kal-El. Appreciate you, buddy. Let's see here. Shooter says B. I feel Kira's pain at the start of this one. Julian is showing more of a competent personality than the earlier I think he means naivete.
Yeah,
naivete. He had the sound of used more. Oh, excuse me, I was me being an idiot. They should have. Let me move my screen back closer, like I'm supposed to. All right. The early. Let's see. They should have used more Thomas Riker. Yes, sir.
Yep, Shooter. That's your inner Gene Roddenberry calling out for Billy Campbell.
Let's see. Shooter also says this one starts with what appears to be a love story, but then does a complete turnaround that caught me off guard. Yeah, I can see that. I only noticed it in this viewing, but for a non-federation personnel, anyway, Kira has a lot of knowledge of advanced Federation tech. Well, she's been working with them for a number of years now.
She
So
has. Snail
so I
Messiah
guess
just
that'll be
walked through
okay.
the door, boss.
Snail, what is up, my friend? All right, good to see you, buddy. Let's see here. Ducat is portrayed as both an intelligent, experienced officer as well as partly incompetent. I find this difficult to accept, and it seemed to be this way to give Cisco the glory. Interesting. Interesting indeed, Shooter. I didn't really think of that. Shooter also says, overall, not a bad episode, but it just doesn't have that something special to make it a great episode. Well, Shooter, thank you for that. I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
That's true.
Good to see our old buddy Pat S with us. Pat S says, C-. Tom, I'll send you Latinum for commissary. Ramen noodles are like emeralds in the joint. Good luck finding him. Let's see here. Zathras says C, one of 863. Well, that's okay. We're gonna be here a while.
I love you so much, Seth.
Babylon 5 would never let Tom Riker steal the White Star. Security was a little lax. Babylon 5 is better, says Zathras. Man, I love Zathras.
I would expect nothing less than that comment from Zathras.
Thank you, Zathras. Appreciate it.
I look forward to these comments. Keep them coming, honey.
Pleasant Valley Picker says, B, a decent episode. Thomas Riker didn't think things out very well. Tunnel vision. He was a crap rebel leader. Yeah, he was. The best part was seeing Ducat and Cisco working together. Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, I thought Kira's schooling him was kind of cool too. But yes, I hear you on FM there. Pleasant. Let me find your next one.
Oh, the Vorlons are very appreciative of Zathras's comments this evening.
The Vorlons.
All hail the resident Vorlon, Lord Thoth. Also, Raymond Feliciano is bragging about the fact that he is eating carrot cake. So I'm jealous, and I'm sending shin kicks to Raymond Feliciano for eating carrot cake in front of me. Shame on you.
Yes. How dare you? What's wrong with you? Let's see here. Where were I? Oh, good Kira moments. Yes, nice addition to the Obsidian Order's backstory. More powerful than Central Command, it seems. Yeah, they seem to be. Lots of future story possibilities. Yes, and they do use some of them, but not the one that we'd all wanted. Here we go. Whoops, sorry. Michael Beacom says, a C. Starfleet security sucks. Companion, page 190, says it all. Ron Moore admits it was all about the surprise when Riker turns on Kira. But after that, Moore admits he didn't have much at all.
Yeah, I felt that. And I love that you pull that stuff out of the text for me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, let's see here.
Sandra made the cake from scratch, and it has cream cheese icing. So now I would like you to send Sandra Feliciano shin kicks as well. These people are just bragging about delicious carrot cake with cream cheese frosting. It's just terrible. I want some.
No kicks from me, Michael and Raymond and Sandra, because I don't even eat pumpkin. What is
no,
it
it's carrot cake. Carrot cake.
I mean, carrot cake. Right. I don't eat carrot cake. So you're safe from me. No shin kicks. Not even an agonizer. I agree, and it shows. Then some interesting stuff happens, and we chase him down and get him. Sure, Ron, if copying and pasting TNG TOS to flesh out the show qualifies as interesting, that is, says Michael. Well, as always, great, Michael. And he says, it amazes me when they are smug enough to admit they just threw it together.
It's true.
Not the worst episode, but not great either. Yep. Thank you so much, Michael Beacom. Right there with you, sir. Appreciate you.
It's true. It's true. And I love when you quote the text.
Happy birthday to Raymond gives a review. He says, B-. I'm exhausted. This was so incomplete. It was incomplete. The episode, I think you mean. Yeah. So, the enigmatic drop bear. ED. Shall I do the honors, ED? unless you want to.
Here we go. Do it, boss.
Enigmatic Drop Bear says B+. The bait and switch employed here was quite effective. We are led to believe the Decker unit was visiting DS9 en route to Ryza. Rather, it was the Alt Decker unit embarking on a vanity project.
Nicely said.
The Alt Decker unit, I like that. In our present era, Kira's lecturing Alt Decker unit on how to be a proper terrorist, terrorist is an alarming piece of exposition. And that was pretty interesting stuff, though. I thought. I mean, at least she was kind of right on there. That to be a tourist requires being selfless, not a battle with personal insecurities or an ego trip. She was effectively making the argument that the tourism is some sort of noble pursuit.
Amazing how that has shifted in our culture in North America, in Western culture specifically. Excellent comments, Enigmatic Drop Bear.
The highlight of this episode for me was Gul Dukat and the continuing discord in the Cardassian Empire. Dukat is becoming more complex and nuanced. He is not your one-dimensional bad villain. No, true. And Mark Alamo's just terrific, always terrific. The Obsidian Order appear to be setting up a shadow military establishment and possibly a shadow government. The seeds of a revolution would appear to be being sowed. Finally, as a metaphor, the characterization of Tom constantly asserting his difference from Will could be read to be DS9 asserting its own identity, further differentiating itself from TNG. Always great, Mr. ED.
Beautiful comments. And so you have enriched the discussion so much, Edie. Thank you so much for that. Dave G Sound is also eating carrot cake and sipping a bourbon with it. This chat, you guys are just cruel with your bourbon and carrot cake. And homemade carrot cake.
I never could even try carrot cake because of the word carrot, and it makes me think it's a carrot. And I don't want to eat. I don't want to even eat a carrot. Why would I eat a cake called carrot cake?
Boss, Aravik Sonder just walks through the door.
I'm sorry?
Aravik Sonder just walks through the door.
Hey, Aravik. All right.
It's been a while since we've seen you. So nice to see you.
Yes, good to see you. Welcome. I hope you were doing well. Let's see here. Michael Carney says B. I think B-. He says B- also. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate that. My buddy Classic Comics says the interaction between Riker and Kira was pretty good in this. I also liked that they brought Tom Riker back, but I thought the conclusion was a little too convenient.
Yeah. It's like they threw it together, and of course they admit that right in the text, which was provided by Michael Beacom. Wonderful.
Yes, indeed. He said, I don't think the Cardassians would give up the Defiance so easily, at least not before they had an opportunity to examine it at length. Another good pernt. And now we have our good buddy Wolfie, who has we'll show some pictures that he has after we do his review real quick. He gives it an A-. New starship, the Keldon class, a kit bash of the Galler class filming model introduced in TNG. I like the original model and really like the upgrade. I'll show that after I read your review here, Wolfie, and thank you for sending those pictures, by the way. We learned Defiant can not only fire 4 pulse phaser burst at once, but also 2 quantum torpedoes. Yep, I love quantum torpedoes. I don't know why, I just like the way it sounds. Dukat mentions the Kardashian Amusement Center. I love when he does that.
It genuinely trips me up now, boss. Like I have to go Kardashian.
Ever wonder how much collagen your lips can take before you are unable to eat? Well, another good Kardashian dig there. Wonder how much air you can get on the butt bounce? Find out. Book now and you get a free Kardashian neck trick sex tape, of course. Oh my goodness.
LT
It
is
says,
sipping port. 30-year-old port. LT, you're making this worse.
almost forgot. Trisha O'Neill, our beloved captain of the Enterprise. See, yeah, that was her as a Cardassian lady. Yes. I'll show these really quickly. We'll probably show them at the end of the show because I want to get reviews done. How about that? But we'll show them. I promise, Wolfie. I want to hurry keep the flow with the reviews if that's okay with you. Promise, I will show them though.
Well, it's kind of nice if we wait until the end too, because then we get to feature it. Like I think that's what we did last time, and
we spend more time
really
on them if we do that. So yeah,
exactly, and everybody really enjoyed it.
Oh, Classic Comics said he forgot his oops, forgot my grade.
Yep,
B plus. Thank you, Comics.
Yep.
Thanks, Classics. Keely Chow says the worst episodes of TOS, TNG, DS9, Voyager, and Ent are still better than STD and P Hard. Well, no argument there.
It's not a review, but Keely seldom gives any type of review material, and I like to hear from him. And absolutely, that is a prevailing attitude here. We still love the 735, but we try to be honest about the good, the bad, and the ugly of it. There is a lot of it. 735. It's hard to stay pristine with 735.
Totally agree with you there, Keely. Thank you so much, and roll Tide. You're gonna roll my Tigers next week, next Saturday. B, I like that they. It says Neurotonax Amanda Bear says B. I like that they brought Thomas back, but overall it needed some work. Also, that screenshot makes me realize for the first time that the beard was used to cover up weight gain. Oh well.
Well, he likes pizza.
The boy was getting old.
Well, he's a hungry boy.
He is, whom we miss because we don't see him here tonight. Hungry boy. If you're hearing this later, buddy, we love you.
Oh, he was up really, really early in the morning painting.
That's perfect. Fine. We understand. But just in case he does listen to the back, I don't want to leave him out. I never want to leave him out. So we're saying hello to him now. Love you, bud.
That's right.
You mentioned it. Sandra says C. I wasn't fond of this episode. It tried to make Riker into something he wasn't. He was too good at heart to fill the role he aspired to. Kira was right that he wanted to be a hero, not a T word. That's absolutely. And that's one of the most poignant bits of the episodes. No doubt about it, Sandra.
Yeah, I agree, Sandra.
Phantom Outsider says B. So Tom is just as big a failure as Will, since Tom is off to Cardassian prison. Will he be annoying them with poor trombone playing? Why would the Federation want a substandard copy of a substandard officer? Bring him back for the court martial. If they brought him back, they should have put Will on trial with him. It wasn't Tom's fault he came from a flawed original finish. Let's see. Was that do they have another one? Is that the last one?
I think that's it.
That's the last one. Das Wolfen says, I give it a B plus. The plus was for Tom Riker. Free hashtag free. I hear you. Yep. And now we have our wonderful communications officer, Jill. She says, B. Having Thomas Riker reject Starfleet in favor of the Maquis was a clever way to illustrate how they've been able to effectively irritate the Cardassians so well at this point in the story. Let's see here. I appreciate that the Defiant has extra security precautions to prevent infiltration that are often not illustrated on Star Trek. User error notwithstanding. Let's see. I like that Moore didn't take the easy way out and kill Thomas in a blaze of glory. However, keeping threads open for future possibilities is only smart if you have a plan to revisit the story. Agreed, Jill. It's very frustrating. You're like, fair enough if you're going to leave it hanging, but deal with the thread. I mean, it's not like they got canceled. A lot of shows set things up. But this is season 3. They get 7 seasons. There's no excuse to leave it like that. None.
And Jill raises a good point that I had in my notes. I was getting to in my notes, and that is this idea that they would work in concert. And I realized that what Cisco proposed would need to be cleared by Starfleet, right? So why would they even hand Thomas over? Why would that even be the deal? And then that raises what Wolfie was saying earlier, and Fanti too, and a few others. Once they're in Cardassian territory, why not just take the Defiant? Why the need for the deal? So it's Jill raises a great point, and I totally agree. And it's one of the reasons why I rate the episode so low. I think that we needed to take Thomas back and court-martial Thomas and then revisit that character and keep him, if you're going to keep him alive for a reason. I agree, guys.
Lazy stuff. Our final review of the episode, folks, our chief engineer, the great Mark D with a C, says B-. Interesting to see Tom Riker again. And the episode started off well, but the mission of the Defiant seemed pointless.
Yeah.
What were they trying to accomplish? Yeah, that was really weird. Then they gave up. What were they trying to accomplish? Then they gave up way too easily. Yeah, that's for sure. Some good chemistry between Riker and Kira, but she lets him languish in a prison camp. Will they free Tom Riker? # in season 3 or P Hard, or will Frakes just keep making pizza? He will keep
eating. And that's and Mark raises another point that I had in my notes, and that just the whole idea behind. Yeah. Anyway, I'm just going to let it go out. Otherwise, I'm just going to go off on a huge rant. But it's just. Yeah, there are too many loose ends here, and a lot of it does not make sense. And for us, especially when they're involving bringing back a character that's a beloved character, and at this time Jonathan Fakey Pants was,
let's just ditch this one and go to the
ditch it before I go off onto a tangent that I can't come back from.
Time for our next episode, and that is Fascination. Would you say somebody else is here?
No. It's just I was making fun of myself.
Oh, don't you do that. Only I can make fun of Okay, our next episode is Fascination.
Yes, Fascination is season 3, episode 10, prod code 456. We all watched this for the very first time. Well, most of us did anyway, on November 28th, 1994. And from Wikipedia, here's the plot. The crew of Deep Space Nine is preparing for the Bajoran Gratitude Festival. As Major Kira is getting ready to perform the opening ceremony, she becomes distracted by the arrival of her boyfriend, Vedic Barile. Meanwhile, Miles O'Brien welcomes his wife, Keiko.
Don't make me do it. I'll do it. Don't make me.
During a break from her research on Bajor, Lwaxana Troy arrives, yay, our queen, and begins looking for Odo, claiming to have developed feelings for him since the last time she was aboard the station. Ooh, some poor writing there, people out on the internet. They both had feelings for each other in the last episode. You went too far with that sentence. As the festival gets underway, Lwaxana suffers strange headaches that come and go. Each time she experiences one, the people around her seem momentarily disoriented, and then experience lust for another co-worker, friend, or acquaintance. Those affected include Jake Sisko, who professes his love for Major Kira, Vedic Barile, who pursues Jadzia Dax, and Dax herself attempts to seduce a station commander, Benjamin Sisko. Major Kira and Julian Bashir seem to be the only people who aren't affected, so that their lust is requited. Meanwhile, Keiko tells Miles that her job on Bajor has been extended and will last another 7 months. Miles asks her to stay on Deep Space Nine, regretting that he helped her to find the job in the first place. Offended, of course she's offended, Keiko storms away and returns to their quarters. Miles, contrite, follows her home. He apologizes and offers to resign his job if necessary to live with Keiko wherever she prefers. The two reconcile at a party hosted by Commander Sisko that evening. At the party, Dax becomes annoyed that Barile's attention is distracting her from her pursuit of Commander Sisko, and as a result, punches him, while Quark arrives with the catering and bumps into Lwaxana, who is having another headache. He is also affected and grabs Keiko and insists that she be his love. Everyone then realizes that Loaxana, a telepathic betazoid, is affecting them somehow. Yeah, but she shouldn't be able to affect Ferengi because that's canon. She's not supposed to be able to affect Ferengi. Anyway, and she can't read their minds either. Anyway, Bashir cures her xanthe fever, an illness that makes her project her amorous impulses on the people surrounding her. He announces that everyone else should return to normal soon. Meanwhile, the two who belong together, the O'Briens, have made up and are enjoying each other's company again before the next time they want to kill each other. Anyway, so boss, that's all that the internet has to say about the plot of Fascination. What did you think of Fascination?
Well, before I say that, I'm going to do this in honor of you because I know you really want it to happen.
Crap, crap,
Oh,
crap,
Miles.
crap, crap,
Oh,
crap,
Miles.
crap, crap,
Oh,
crap, crap,
Miles.
crap,
Oh,
crap, crap,
Miles.
crap, crap,
Oh, Miles.
Oh boy, I knew you were going to love this episode. It's just
Debug Martin. I love you, Debug
Debug loves
Martin.
that.
I love Debug Martin so much.
What did I do? I hit a button. You still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
I hit some. Anyway, so yeah. I again, it's just trying to be a harmless, silly, fun episode, but it's not really that much fun or that funny. It's kind of just cringy and goofy, and I mean, there are worse things out there in the world or whatever, but I didn't really care much for the whole idea. I can't stand this kind of stuff. Once in a while, look, it is a trait not just of Star Trek, of many shows to have, but especially Star Trek has done it a lot, where something happens to make everyone act out of character. That's a staple of many Star Trek. All the Star Trek series do it sometimes, right?
It's true.
In this case, in a lighthearted vein, they're all, some of them are falling in love. I mean, the Jake Kira thing all of it was annoying, especially the Vedic Baral Jadzia part of it.
Like, oh my God.
So it's always kind of nice to see Loaxana, but why would you waste her in an episode like this? I think
they barely even show the Queen. They bring the Queen,
Yeah,
then they
she's
give us
barely
no
there.
Queen.
So they were trying to be funny. It just really didn't land that well. Anyway, I'll let you go ahead and do your notes. Let's just go burn this one up quick.
Yeah, and first, I just want to say, Max Redstone is saying, Raquel, Loaxana can transmit, just not receive. Well, no, actually, it's supposed to be, it was rationalized that because of the way that the Ferengi brain is, that telepathy with them, mind reading and all that, it doesn't work. So it wouldn't be one way or the other. It should be extremely difficult. So I don't think that that's like some sort of intricate, it can go one way and not go the other way, fan excuses in headcanon. It's just them writing really crappy, and it's just crappy writing. Anyways, here are my notes.
I've already forgot. Did Quark fall in love with somebody?
Yes, he falls in love with Keiko.
Oh, did he really? Okay,
Yes.
I forgot about that part. I was probably already just waiting to get it over with. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen it a few times, but I genuinely forgot. I just watched it 3 days ago. Maybe I should have watched it today or something. Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway,
totally slipped my mind.
And O'Brien goes Irish on him, and I was scared he was going to kill Quark.
Right.
But yeah, she's not supposed to be able to. There are several different species that she can't read, and she's a full blood Betazoid, Beta Z, and there are several species that she cannot penetrate because of the way their brains are. Right, so it's just disappointing. And it makes fans make up big, long stories of why she can do it and with this way or that way. And it shouldn't be that way. Just write properly and don't be a jerk off. Anyway, Kira knocking boots with the priest again. My gag reflex, instantaneous. Keiko hates Loaxana. Of course, Keiko would roll her eyes at Loaxana because Keiko, she rhymes with runt. Anyway, these are some icky exchanges.
Wow.
This is too much gushy love. This is very yucky. Keiko, oh Keiko, you are so awful. She is so loving and romantic, right? Like he keeps trying with her, and she like pushes him away where she's horrible to him. And then we have that ridiculous melodramatic ceremony that nobody's buying.
Oh.
And then we realize, of course, well, we realized it back in 1994, but then the viewer realizes that it's love sickness. There is so much cringe and awkwardness. I just don't understand what viewer enjoys this level of cringe and awkwardness. It's gross and I can't stand it. And it's not just because I'm an INTJ. I know this must annoy other people. Why do they insist on showing the O'Briens fighting all the time? The writers never give us a reason to cheer this couple on. We want to cheer for the O'Briens, but the writers never give us a reason. And so now we have to believe that Miles is just going to accept that he's going to be a year. So this is now, it all adds up to about a year that his wife and his daughter are going to be away from him. And she's got some friend at work who she's telling all of her private information to, and it's a dude. I don't understand why the writers are writing it this way. Rosalind Chow is a beautiful, is it Chow?
Well, I can answer that.
Rosalind Chow is a beautiful lady, and yeah.
I can answer that question for you.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, most Hollywood idiots are miserable wieners who live in superficial Hollywood land. Therefore, they constantly exist in a superficial state in their own bubble, and they have superficial relationships with idiots that are not serious enough, that are not with people they really, really, truly got to know and love, and therefore they think everyone else is that way too. They think everyone else is miserable, so when they write these characters, often they're projecting, and everything has to be problems and fights and everything, because that's the world they come from. That's why they write that way.
Well, I agree, and I've brought it up before, but there are several academics that have written formal academic manuscripts on the relationship betwixt the O'Briens and how it has that verisimilitude. That realness, that feeling of, oh, this is real, and I can see my marriage in this, and oh, you mean other people have problems too, and I think that's all crap. Because they never give us a reason to cheer them on. We never get to see them and say to ourselves, geez, I want these people to make it. This is a cute couple, aren't they adorable? She's rotten to him all the time. Every time he tries to be emotionally intimate with her in a really kind, romantic, or sweet way, she's rotten back. And it's just, lemon pie's here.
Lemon pie and Cavatino Calamanche. Welcome,
I didn't
both
see
of
you come in. Hello.
Thank you both for being here. Great to see you, my friends.
Yeah, so it's just annoying. And so Dax and Cisco, this is so much cringe. Who enjoys this kind of cringe on TV? Bashir and Kira kissing. This is so gross, and they are together in real life. And when they kiss, it's closed mouth, but then they open their mouth and you can see their tongues. And at this time, Nana Visitor and Alexander Siddig, they're together, and it's so gross. The Xanthi fever is gross. We didn't even get to enjoy our queen. They just
it was a waste of Laxwana.
Yeah, they just had the entire cast, closed mouth, mauling each other's faces and acting nuts. They're not sexually attracted to each other. They're just acting nuts because they act like a dog in heat, like they're practically leg humping one another. It doesn't make sense. They're supposed to feel amorous, but they haven't been affected by something that would make them, evacuate their IQ. So I don't know. I hate this episode, and you guys all know how I feel about the stupid O'Brien thing, and also the gross dry kissing. The dry, open mouth kissing where you can clearly see that their mouths are open and closed. It's gross. No, this is not romantic.
Oh, all right.
No one likes this.
So give us your rating and hang back, everyone. I'll get you in a minute. Go. What is your rating?
It's a D-.
Well, I'm a little nicer to it. I give it a D personally, because it was a waste of Luoxana. It was not funny. It was a bunch of, I don't really care about it either. I think there are a lot of worse ones, but yeah, I give it a D. And now you can all start your reviews, folks. But I just thought it was just kind Just not funny. It's just goofy crap, personally. But anyway, that's just me. All right. Well, number one is starring your reviews.
Cavatino Cavalryman Che says, can we get number one to say, oh, Belial? Where did that go?
Oh,
For
Lord.
future cringe moments.
Yikes. No, you never
So
know.
funny. I love you guys. Love you.
All right. Who's ready for some Max Redstone entertainment?
Do it.
All right, folks. As you all know, the great lyricist Max Redstone. Hang on. I got somebody texting at me, everybody. I guess maybe this is our important engineer news. No, it's not. Somebody's going to get some shin kicks when he gets here. Damn it.
Is it Minimus? Minimus.
No.
Oh, okay.
I'll put it to you like this. Everyone, this is dedicated to the great Mark D with a C.
Never that way.
God damn it, Mark. Jeez.
All right. So, he knows why. Anyway, here's the all right, everybody. Here he knows we love him, but we still have to shin kick him every once in a while. All right. Fascination by the great Max Redstone. Loxana, a woman robust. The station's emotions may combust. A bad writing burrito has Mrs. Troy infecting others' libido. This is not a story. It's just a big bust. Whoa! Spectacular. Again, knocking it way, way, way out of the park. Max Redstone. Love it, brother. Well done. When you're silent, I can't tell if I'm on the air anymore.
Sorry, it's because
You
I'm
are.
clickety clicking,
That's
right?
fine. That's
Sorry
fine.
about that.
No. Good. All right, so here we go.
Southris says somebody's texting Claudia about his car warranty.
That is. Yeah.
Oh, Hungry Boy's here. Hungry Boy's here.
Hungry Boy.
Hi,
Hey.
honey. Love you.
All right, bro. I hope you're doing well, buddy.
He was up late
Yeah.
creating, being
Never too
creative.
late.
Our wonderful painter, our amazing artist. I hope you made something amazing or got something started. Love it.
Never too late for the great Hungry Boy. Good to see you there, brother. Let's see. All right. So let's start with our reviews, shall we? Das Wolfen says, this is a C- for me. Despite the appearance of Majel Barrett, the character she plays had run its course by this time. The whole episode is just cringe to me. Probably one of the worst DS9 episodes. If a C- is one of your worst, that means you're pretty well disposed towards the show. So thank you.
Yeah, Das Wolfen
Das
likes to give as high grades as possible. He really loves the show.
Indeedishness, the great Lord Thoth gives it a D-. Another
Yes!
awful episode. I can't wait until next season. The terrible writing, plot and acting, botany. Really?
Yeah.
Thank you, LT. I hear you, brother. Classic Comic says, it's one of those silly episodes that isn't to be taken seriously. Amusing but forgettable. Grade C+. Thank you, Classic Comics.
But the open mouth kissing. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I wish you'd stop making me think about that.
it's just so disgusting.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so gross to watch, and it's so bad. It's so high school drama year-end play. It's so bad. Anyway,
And it sucks. Raymond Feliciano says D, a bad version
yeah,
of the song Love Potion number
it
9.
is. He's right. He's
Yes.
right.
Indeedishness. Shooter says C+. This is just a fun, goofy episode. A bit of mystery, and I am always a fan of the people not behaving normally trope. Also, no dire threat. That is a nice change of pace. Gotcha. Thank you, Shooter. We got one more from you. Majel Barrett is back as a recurring character. The fact that everyone was acting on latent attraction also worked well. Overall, a bit of filler, but okay filler from Shooter. Thank you so much, Shooter.
Latent attraction. Sick. Sick.
Our buddy Pat S says, C. If I was Miles, I'd play the card of, hey, I stayed in South Korea in an extra year to help find your family. I missed the whole Mud Hens season for you. Cut him some slack and go back to teach those 3 kids. He's talking to Cake. The lady who played Keiko was on MASH.
Klinger
married her.
That's right.
Klinger married her.
Yeah.
Pleasant Valley Picker says, C. Reminded me of Naked Now. I enjoyed this more than I should have. Everyone loves the wrong person. Jake creeped me out chasing Kira. Yeah, I mean, at least he's a kid. But yeah, I hear you. Julian and Kira making out made me laugh. Let's see. At least they actually in real life were seeing each other at the time, I believe.
Yeah, and they had a baby together, didn't they? Or twins or something?
I think they did.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find. Oh, there we go. The second one's way down there. I got you. Waxana being the cause of all of the amorous goings on was a convenient plot device that allowed the writers to have a bit of silly fun. A lighthearted episode was welcome after the previous one. Well, there you go. Thank you so much, Pleasant Valley Picker. I hope you're feeling well tonight, man. Let's see here. Michael Beacom says, D. Judge Messrs. Bear, Crocker, and Brooks for the high crime of massacring a Midsummer Night's Dream. Your sentence to be beaten with an unabridged tome of the Bard's plays until
I love you, Michael. Michael Beacom. I love you. I love the Beacoms. I would hang out with the Beacoms in real life. Like I would full on invite them over for dinner.
Indeed. Seriously, I want them all to write, I will not rip off classics 1,000 times with the punishment pins from Harry Potter.
Yes.
Page 193. Bear blames Pillar for coming up with the idea, but come clean, guys. Yeah. Blame the dead guy. Come on. I hate to be crude, but the poor gentleman is no longer with us, so you're blaming him for everything, huh? Yeah. I see how you guys are. We're not watching Shakespeare. You were watching Flesh Gordon when you came up with this one. For those who don't know, there is an early 70s parody porn film called Flesh Gordon.
But it's so true, Michael Beacom.
I always wonder why you guys hate Keiko after this one. I know. I don't hate her. It's number one that hates her. I have no problem with her, but I do think it's hilarious that she hates her. In fact, now I love her even. Now I love her even more because I get so much entertainment about Raquel's hate of the character.
I think she is beautiful. I just don't understand why the writers won't let the Irish guy be romantic and kind to his wife and have his wife reciprocate in a meaningful way so that we can cheer for their relationship. Instead, she's always like, oh, leave me alone. Don't touch me. Like she's always pushing his hand away and, oh, Miles.
Yeah, we know you're knocking everyone knows you're knocking not acting the lady, you're acting the character. I mean, the way the character's written.
Yes.
I got you for sure. All she needs to like O'Brien is some.
Yeah, just a little. Just like him a little. Be nice.
Some Betazoid mind control. Yeah. And having friends and coworkers go fully orgy. Yeah, there you go. At work. How does that work back on the job the next day?
Yeah.
How about jumping you last night? We're good, right?
Right? Like
I hear you.
That's crazy.
Sandra says D. A poor copy of Naked Now. Raquel is right. They are. I didn't see much of a correlation to Naked Now. It's interesting. But I hear you. They are professionals. They should be able to control themselves rather than act like oversexed teens. Very disappointing episode.
Great Sandra. Comment. I totally agree. And DJ Ronnie G is here.
Hey, DJ Ronnie G. Hello there. Good to see you. Welcome.
And you received a gift from the Bronze Wrencher himself, the great Eric K.
I did. Oh, my goodness. Let's see here. Thank you, Eric, for the $2 super chat. Just how much to delete the O Miles clip? I'll for you nothing. I'll do it for free. Don't be silly. You never have to pay for anything. You know I wouldn't play that just to aggravate anybody or anything. Don't you know that? You do know that, right?
Somewhere.
Not happy.
Tortured.
Midnight's Oblivion says C-. Just because I said none of DS9 gets lower than the C. Just because I said none gets lower than a C for me. I hear you, Midnight's Oblivion. Yes.
You just received a gift from Shooter.
Oh, thank you, Shooter.
Isn't that sweet?
For $3 super chat. Thank you, Australian, I believe, right? This says
Yeah.
A. I think that's what it means. Shooter, thank you so much. You're too kind. It says, how much to keep the O Miles clip? I must to keep it. Oh, we're gonna have a bidding war, are we?
They do.
In that case, now $10. Now 10. That's gonna go on. It might go up as high. It could go up as high as $1 million. $1 million.
I blame Mark. I blame Mark. I did not clip that. I didn't provide that clip. I did not say anything. I just showed up to the podcast one day. I just showed up to work one day, and Mark had created that for Quabby. I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, blame Mr. Troublemaker Mark there.
Oh, you just received a gift from Maximum Redstone. I'm going to start and send it to your
We're not going to have a bidding war.
Tab, sir.
Go ahead. Thank you, Max Redstone, for the $2 super chat. Says, oh, Miles, save the clip. It's not going anywhere, but I won't play it again tonight. How about that? I'll save it for special occasions. Is that okay, Eric? And Eric, I'll give you a warning from now on. Is that good enough? No bidding wars here. Kal-El says, D, this episode was more of a soap opera that just happened to take place in a sci-fi setting. The mystery, in quotes, of why people on the station were suddenly infatuated with those they normally would have no feelings for was really not no surprise at all. The plot itself seemed contrived and uninteresting, but honestly, the only reason why this episode didn't get a low ranking was, hang on a second, because of the appearance by the amazing Magil Barrett Roddenberry as the wonderful Lwaxana Troy. Yes, she's still great in it, no matter what. Just a shame that they, at least in the opinion of some of us, kind of wasted her. Thank you to our great engineer. He says Midnight's Oblivion joined at the CLOBBERIN level, the group. Thank you so much. And don't worry, the O Miles clip will never go away. But in respect to our great Bronze Wrencher, I won't play it anymore tonight. I might play some other annoying crap, but maybe not that. Well, there you go. Wolfie says, D, this episode is more horny than a stampede of triceratopses. I cringed so hard I looked like a Bajoran. Gagged me with a Canar bottle. Hell yeah, Wolfie.
Oh boy. And the bidding war is in full swing here. You just received a gift from the great erudite bear himself, Enigmatic Drop Bear.
I'll be right there. First, I want to say Aravic Sondor said I give it a 4 cringy. Thank you so much, Aravic. I appreciate that review. Yeah. Let's see. You're too kind, Edie. You didn't have to do that. I appreciate you. Thank you for that. He said, in support of the O Miles clip. I love it myself. I don't see how anybody could not like it. Thank you so much, Edie. You're too kind. I actually love it personally.
Oh, no.
I think it's great. Enigmatic Drop. Speaking of the great Enigmatic Drop Bear, we have his review now, and he says, D+. For the first 5 minutes or so, my eyeballs headed off on an excursion towards the back of my head. But then Lwaxana arrived, and thankfully, my visual acuity resumed normal programming. Let's see here. Still, it seemed a slightly improved remake of TNG's The Naked Now. It's the third person to invoke Naked Now. I never even thought about it. I was just probably sitting there going, I wanted it to be over. But maybe it was Jake the lawnmower. It was Jake the lawnmower, Jesus. Quark the marriage counselor and Raquel's O Miles ringing in my ears that made it unbearable. Ah, it could well be that, ED. Could be. At the end of the episode, Dr. Bashir said, best not to think about it too much. Good advice. Well done as always, buddy.
Exactly. Edie, I totally agree. And the fact that they said that it like they were working off of latent feelings, oh, just so much cringe. And boss man, you just received a gift from Dave G Sound, and I have started and put it in your folder.
Oh, righty. Let's see here. Thank you, Dave G Sound, for the $2 super chat. I appreciate you. Oh, Miles. Oh, he says. That may be an endorsement of the clip, everybody. I could interpret it. I may have to interpret it as that. Don't pretend you don't like it. Let's see here. The wonderful communications officer, anti-derivative Jill. Love you, Jill. She says, C+. Outrageous fun, she says. Outrageous. When you say that word, it's a trigger word for me. So those who don't know, because Aquaman from Batman Brave and the Bold would say, outrageous. So sorry, I have to say it like that because I'm an imbecile. Anyway. More disturbing, however, was the reveal that Miles and Keiko's fights were genuine marriage instability, not influenced by Luxana's illness. Yeah, that's a good point there, Jill.
And the writers keep doing that, Jill. Why are they doing that? Like, I want to cheer for the O'Briens. At least throw me a bone. There doesn't even have to be any meat on the bone. Just give me one little reason to love them being together instead of her just being rotten to him all the time and him being like romantic and caring and cute and adorable. It's awful. It's awful. And now everyone's calling for you to play the clip. Oh no.
Which clip? Oh no.
Oh no.
No, because look, I love Eric K. He doesn't want to hear it. He's only heard it once, So I'm sorry, Eric K. People paying to like it and dislike it. I don't know what to do. Who do I please here?
I know how you can please everyone.
How?
Hungry Boy can smell it, and so can I. You know what it is? It's the diesel. The diesel coming off of the stack on the Club Boney.
What do you
Revving
mean?
up.
Play the Club Boney?
Club Boney.
Not the old Miles one.
No.
Just the normal one.
Crap.
Okay.
Crap.
There you go. They're not an accident. Says right, but like Raquel said, they're never a couple. Do you want to, you want to be together? Never a couple you want to be together. I hear you, Narat. Yeah. The Catman, aka D. Myers, says, Clobby, I didn't care for this episode. They should have left this one out. I give it a D-. Wow, I don't blame you.
Dee.
There you go, Dee. The great Hungry to remember what decent sleep was like, aka the official Clobberin Times artist and Raquel's book artist.
Yes.
Hungry Boy says, sarcastic A+. Uh-oh, here we go, folks. Buckle up. Watch these words I can't even pronounce coming up.
Oh, God.
Despite not being the thrust of the plot. Okay. All right. You're just asking for it, aren't you? It was so fab to see Cisco being such a great dad to Jake in the opener, and his advice was both heartfelt and logical. Sarcasm time, sarcasm overload, as Crichton would say. Let's see here. Engage sarcasm chip, as Crichton would say. At 4:20 into the ep, we get a classic Italian 1960s camera angle, exemplified by Mario Bava, through the equipment to see Kira and O'Brien. Classy. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. 1978 disco version of the Loxana rocks my world, and no apologies for saying interstellar milf power. But Keiko is the hangover following that champagne.
Yeah.
Oh, poor old Keiko.
True.
Poor Odo facing off, challenging pun intended, against a buxom betazoid force of feminine nature while being early in love with Kira. Yes. What courage. Says
what
he.
Courage.
As a credit to Majel and her acting chops, especially balanced against Renee's,
yes,
I couldn't even pay much attention to Kira in this ep, and that's saying something. Thank you, Hungry Boy, buddy.
What a beautiful review, boss.
I hear you. Yes.
Hungry Boy, love you very much. I always love your reviews. I love talking to you. You already know that.
Got
Boss
another one,
Man
huh?
Shooter
Thank you,
has
Shooter.
a request.
Well, Shooter, what can it hurt? Oh, Super Chat Shooter, you were too kind, my friend. Max Redstone says F this episode. Sorry. This was the Sub Rosa of DS9. Wow.
Yep.
The writers probably said, let's take that Sarek episode, except with Troy, and she makes everyone horny.
Yeah, so much recycling. There is so much recycling. And it's so funny when you watch the 735 in linear fashion, you see why I talk about the overlap in the titles, the borrowing of ideas, the recycling of ideas, a sort of a quilt. They sort of take different patches from different episodes and recycle them and make a new quilt. And so, yeah, it's something else when you watch it in linear, in a linear fashion.
Das Wolford says, not an excellent example of sci-fi Star Trek from this episode. I'm glad you reminded me that it existed. Unsatisfactory. Thank you,
Dave G. Sound.
The Radanax Amanda Bear says, B. I like this episode well enough. Loaxana is back. Terrible Keiko in this one. That's a novel pairing. That's a novel pairing. Raquel is right about the Ferengi mind thing. We're left to make up our own justifications.
Yep.
Thank you, Narada Amanda Bear, the great master of Vindicator Canada Wrench. Grizz Persia says C-. Keiko's derision of Miles is now confirmed as the 8th defining constant of
Oh my God, I love you, Chris.
A travesty to Midsummer Night's Dream, even after they watched Max Reinhardt's version before filming. Wow. There you go.
Wow.
Cassandra says, while my husband is putting down Flesh Gordon, Bijo Trimble did the makeup. Timothy Dalton was in it. Timothy Dalton was in Flash Gordon by Dino De Laurentiis in 1980. Flash Gordon is a film from many years earlier, which is actually a softcore porn parody of Flash Gordon. So where Jim Danforth actually did the special effects for it.
There were special effects.
That's
in porn?
Yeah. Oh boy. Flash Gordon is famous for that, but I don't think Timothy Dalton was in that. He was in the Flash Gordon film, though.
Can't believe there were special effects in a porn.
Yeah, you should Google Flash Gordon one day, but we're not doing that here. Narat says, cringe so hard I looked like Bajoran, best line of the night. Oh,
it's true. Lenrod. Yes, Lenrod. Lenrod, you were thinking what I'm thinking, Lenrod.
The great Mark D with a C says, D+. Premise of the episode, Loaxana has burpees. Could have been funny, but most of the jokes landed flat. Could Keiko be any more annoying in this episode?
And mean.
Don't challenge him. Don't challenge him. And no wonder Miles doesn't transport down to Bajor to visit and waits a few months to see her. Keiko. Oh, I guess that means you don't have a latent attraction for me after all. Oh, my God. He said nothing latent about it. That's what he said. But, Brian, nothing latent about it. Oh, yeah, there you go. Weren't you paying attention last night, Keiko? Why are you quoting this?
Because it's Keiko, evidence. I like evidence. Read the evidence.
You have the touch, O'Brien. Don't make me puke. That's all right. All right, dude. Okay. You know, Mark, old chum, just reminding me of that scene is.
Never that way.
God damn it, Mark. Jeez.
Oh, Jesus. No. All right, everybody. It's time to move on to our next episode. Captain Finity, I need you for this one. No, Captain Finity.
Oh, God.
Captain Finity, yes. Dalton was in Flash Gordon. He was not in Flesh Gordon. There's a difference. Gosh. Look who's here.
Who? Where?
And they call him Scuba Pete.
Scuba Pete and Leslie. Hi, cute people. Leslie. I love you.
Good to see you, buddy. All right, Captain Finity, I need you to listen up for this next episode. Are we ready to get to this next episode?
Yes, let's do it.
I'm dedicating my review of this next episode to Captain Finity and beyond. So I hope you're there, buddy. fair warning, folks. I have a warning for my good friends. I'm going to try to restrain myself. I'm going to hide it. You're going to get, I'm going to try not to yell. Just go ahead and read it. Go ahead. And,
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay. Just let me get ready here. I'm not even ready. Past tense.
No hurry.
Okay, now I'm ready.
We're always past tense. We're living in bungalows now.
Okay.
It's a Groucho line. Sorry.
Past tense, part 1. This is season 3. This first aired on January 2nd, 1995. I'm actually taken aback. I'm a little afraid. I'm actually scared right now. This is episode 11. Sorry. I'm actually scared. Part 1 from Wikipedia. When Commander Sisko, Dr. Bashir, and Jadzia Dax beam down to Earth from the Defiant, an accident occurs, and they materialize in San Francisco in the year 2024. Sisko and Bashir are found by a pair of police officers who believe them to be vagrants and warn them to get off the streets. They're escorted to a sanctuary district, a walled-off ghetto that is used to contain the poor, the sick, the mentally disabled, and anyone else who cannot support themselves. Sisko realizes they have arrived just days before the Bell riots, a violent confrontation in the sanctuary district that Sisko recalls as a watershed moment in human history. Dozens will be killed, including a man named Gabriel Bell, the leader of the demonstration. Bell will become a hero because of his self-sacrifice while protecting hostages, and public attitudes towards the disadvantaged will begin to change. Unable to find a building to sleep in and unwilling to get involved with a nascent movement to air the residents' grievances for fear of altering history, wow, that's quite the sentence, Sisko and Bashir live in the street. Meanwhile, Dax is found by a prominent businessman, Chris Brenner, who arranges accommodations for her. Later attending an affluent party as his guest, she realizes that Sisko and Bashir may have been taken into the sanctuary district and persuades him to help her confirm her suspicions. Within the district, a fight breaks out when Sisko and Bashir resist attempts to take the ration cards they have been issued. A man who comes to their aid is killed, and Sisko and Bashir discover after the fact that he was Bell. Sisko quickly realizes that due to their presence, the course of history stands to be radically changed, since Bell is no longer present to safeguard the hostages in the historical narrative. The district residents begin to riot, and one group storms the processing center and takes the employees hostage. Sisko and Bashir return there, and Sisko assumes Bell's identity and takes leadership of the revolt in an effort to keep the hostages safe. Back in the 24th century, the crew left on the Defiant, Major Kira, Odo, and Chief O'Brien, lose contact with Earth as all traces of the Federation suddenly vanish. Bell's death has radically altered the timeline. O'Brien calculates several possible time periods in which Dax, Sisko, and Bashir might have arrived, and Kira and O'Brien begin transporting to one period at a time in order to search for them. And that is all the collective internet has to say about Past Tense Part 1. Please, boss, I'm going to hide under my desk now. Please tell me what you thought of Past Tense Part 1.
I've had a whole week to prepare, so I'm not going to freak out here. I'm going to quote a line from Watchmen that many people, it's from the Watchmen comic book, and it's basically lousy, filthy, stinking, worthless piece up, but I'm going to stop. I hate this episode probably more than I hate any episode of any Trek or probably any but I'm going to control myself. I'm going to stick to story stuff rather than how unbelievably moronic this episode was. 30-some-odd years predicting that 30 years later, this is the kind of situation we'll be in. Because if you followed politics of the day, what year was this again? 93 or 4?
No, we're into 1995 now, boss.
Okay, so in other words, It was making a prediction of something like about nearly 30 years into the future. Right. We're only 2 years away from where it predicted. It was based upon people often when they talk about STD or some of the other modern fake Star Trek, they always the people who defend it always say, "Oh, Star Trek's always been political." And people who defend real Trek, usually their defense is, no, it's not always been political. And 80-some-odd% of the time they're right. Usually it's philosophical and not political. But that doesn't mean it never was. See Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country, if you want to see an example of very, very politicized, on-the-nose Star Trek. And then see this episode. Except in this case, it was projecting a future based upon modern-day politics of the time. We had the homeless crisis and the homeless things that we had going on that was really big in the news at the time, and who people in Hollywood were blaming for it and all of this other kind of stuff. In other words, this is pure Marxist drivel, this whole thing. But I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to leave that out of how just unbelievably, staggeringly boring it was. Every dreary second of it when they were when Cisco and Bashir are walking around in that time in 2024. And even when Dax is hanging out with Elon. But so the idiocy, the politics of it, I'll leave that out. The flimsy excuse that they create for the time problem, beaming through this singularity and stuff, is so laughable and stupid. Say what you want about the sitting on the edge of forever. At least they give you some sort of good explanation, and it's about they go into a past that exists, and you don't have to speculate at what happened in the 30s because it already happened. You can just speculate at something that might happen if time events are altered. And this was all ultra. I'm not going to use certain terms that would be, inflammatory. Ultra a certain type of political persuasion projection on the parts of these writers. It's not even close to what would happen today. Now, I never blame anybody. If you write a story that takes place 30 years in the future and you make certain predictions, you can't help but, you're not always going to get things right. So this is not that's not exactly what's happening now. I'm not holding them to that. That's silly. I'm just saying they should have never done it in the first place. And the idiotic, horrible excuse to get them to set this so-called story up, but they just happen to be in orbit. They're beaming down to San Francisco Starfleet Command, and just this weird anomaly happens out of nowhere. This quantum similarity, drivelly, gobbledygook crap. Look, you had at least a good explanation in Sitting Forever. At least a fairly competent one in Tomorrow's Yesterday, where an accident took place. Then you have a really terrible one, kind of in a Assignment Earth, when I don't like them just willy-nilly traveling in time whenever they feel like it. But in Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home, kind of like Assignment Earth, and not necessarily. I don't like them having a time machine. Time accidents are fine. Also, the episode Little Green Men was pretty stupid that they did later in DS9. So basically, I don't like time travel's fine for the TARDIS. The Enterprise or the Defiant being time machines, I don't like. In this case, the Defiant's not a time machine, but it has an accident. I just don't like the setup for it. I don't like anything about the setup. I'm going to leave it alone now because I get really upset when I talk about this episode, and I'm not trying to make anything political here. So I'm not even going to entertain any political arguments about it. I'm just telling you what I don't like about it. And I'm not even going to sound off much about the episode from here on, or even the next episode. But leaving all that aside, I think this is incredibly boring crap, and I can't believe they stretched this incredibly boring shit into 2 episodes. Notes? I was trying to avoid saying a lot of things that I want to say about the episode, folks, so I'm sorry. But I will leave it to the notes.
Okay, so I have the same opinions as Clobby, even though Clobby and I are on 2 different tangents of I don't want to say tangents. Clobby and I vote differently, and we don't get into that kind of stuff here. But I will say this, that I am from the left. And so that will disarm any crap about me just being some right-wing freak or whatever, because I'm not. I voted Liberal for over 30 years of my life. Yes, Star Trek has always been political, but I am a fan of Gene Roddenberry, and Gene Roddenberry made it very clear. And you can actually read about it in Humanist magazine, an interview he gave, about a week-long interview that he gave right before he died, talking about how he never ever wanted to insult the viewer. He openly fought with Michael Piller. They bitterly fought about not making fun of religious people. It's not something Gene Roddenberry wanted to do. He never wanted a single viewer to be turned away from the show. He thought that was bad. It was a bad idea. He specifically said, and I'm not quoting him verbatim here, I'm paraphrasing, but it's pretty much exactly what he said. You know, if I failed to do my job, if one person is so turned off and so insulted that they walk away and they don't hear me out. And so he truly believed in the act of rhetoric. And so Star Trek was always political. Yes, it was. The good stuff, season 1 and season 2 of TOS, was always involved in something called the Socratic dialectic. Now, if you are not an academic and you have no idea what that means, I will give you a very brief explanation of it, but I'm not going to go too much into it because you're all very intelligent and many of you are highly educated, so I don't want to patronize you. But the Socratic dialectic is when you take an idea, a thesis, an assertion, and you test it against evidence. And how you test it against evidence is you go to all of the opinions, not just the left or the center or the right, or things that reinforce what you believe, but you go to all of the evidence and you start to question what is true. And that's what this Socratic thing is. Socrates used to do this, and this idea of dialectic. So you're questioning and you're asking the person to ask questions. And so at the end of it, the person decides what they believe by the amount of evidence that you have produced to get them to engage with the material. And that is a very different thing than being hegemonic. And hegemonic is when bourgeoisie or middle class or very rich people decide that you need to be admonished, that you need to be scolded, and you need to be told what to believe. You need to be told what to think. And so a corporation would use art to be hegemonic, to get you to decide what you believe by making you feel like you don't know what you're talking about or you're a bad person. And so those are two very different things. And so, yes, political, but not in any way the way that it is being done today. The way that it is being done today infantilizes the audience. It asserts that only rich people who operate corporations have the only purchase on really good morals and ethics. You are the filthy, unwashed masses. You are idiots. And only if they tell you specifically in art how to think and how to feel and what to believe and who to vote for, you won't know. And that's hegemony. And that's not a good thing. It's not a good thing, especially going to a corporation to get your morals and your ethics and all of your art. Art is meant to be made by people, not corporations. So that said, here are my notes. The transporter carries the risk of time travel. There's nothing that these poor writers won't have the transporter doing. The transporter can do anything when you are a shite writer for Star Trek. And that's what's happening here. This is shite writing. This first part centers on the decline of the USA specifically. But now it has a World War II ghetto. And what's worse is it has forced welfare. So it's not like you apply for welfare because you're unemployed. You're forced into welfare. So I'm not quite sure what the writers were trying to get at here in 1995. I remember watching this in 1995 and still being bewildered by it because it makes no sense. We also have them in forced confinement without committing a crime. So, if you're going to argue for this whole idea of socialism and the government taking care of people, then why would you then resort to World War II ghettos, forced welfare, and forced confinement of whole neighborhoods? This is not arguing anything intelligent. What it is shite. Um, it's just a tool to admonish you about how you may or may not feel about homeless people, and certainly the disabled, which is very, very heavy-handed. And I wrote that in my notes. This is very heavy-handed commentary on homelessness and mental illness. It assumes the viewer believes that homeless people are untouchables. They're garbage human beings, that they should be forced into welfare and they should be forced into confinement. Is that what's being argued here? And moreover,
that's what Hollywood believes that the people that they disagree with politically think that should be done.
Exactly. And then
that
there's
was projection.
Yes. And then there's this presupposition. So, this untested preconceived notion, this untested idea that the audience has no respect or love or appreciation for those who are developmentally disabled or have learning disabilities or have some type of mental illness. And it's quite sad because it takes on the admonishing tone, the give them crap, they're garbage, make them feel like garbage. This is not what Gene Roddenberry wanted. Gene Roddenberry wanted hope. So this is the antithesis of that hope. This is not Star Trek. This is also not science fiction. I'm going to say that again. This is not Star Trek, and this is not science fiction.
No,
and
not.
Also, I think it's complete BS that the comm badges aren't recovered. And that's all I have to say about this giant flaming bag of dog shite. It's terrible.
Also,
terrible.
Again, this is, make no mistake about it, this is Hollywood has been doing this kind of stuff. I mean, it's not, people think that they just started the W word, the woke thing, in 2016. Hollywood's been doing this stuff for 56 years. This was what current day Hollywood of the time believed that the people who disagree with them wanted out of life and were going to lead us to in 30 years. That's what this is, this projection. This was their they believed it, and they constantly said it. If you followed the news and the politics, the political politics of the time, that's what people in Hollywood like Ira Stephen Bear and Rick Berman, all these guys, they believed that the people on the other side of the political spectrum of themselves were leading us down this road. And also, I would just take an aside is whatever happened to Star Trek continuity, where in 1993 to 1996, whole populations were being bombed out of existence because of what Khan and other people were doing. I guess we forgot about that. Whoops.
Yeah.
So they threw that continuity into the garbage just so they could tell their little stupid story. And it's just when you get into the meat of the bones of both episodes, when they're just running around whining the whole time while Jadzia hangs out with Elon Musk, it's just boring, tedious crap all the way through. I was mildly amused by some of the stuff with Kira and O'Brien going to other times and stuff in the later episode. But I think this is just, you like that word didacticism? This is totally what that is. And it was projection. And if you knew anything about the politics of the time, that's the way I concluded when I first saw the episode way back when. And what I see now is no different.
And it's important that people realize that it doesn't matter how you vote. It doesn't matter if you're on the right or you're on the left like I am. This has the name Star Trek on it. So it's supposed to be using the ways and means of Gene Roddenberry to bring these ideas forward. And I would just like to say that Gene Roddenberry brought these same ideas forward, but gave us hope and brought us together over it and taught us to try to reach beyond ourselves, to be a better version of ourselves collectively, so that no one had to live in that kind of environment or suffer those slings and arrows. So to me, it's indefensible because it's not a means to an end. You can't just take something that's supposed to be hopeful and is supposed to lead by example and is supposed to say, you know what, we can all do this. We can all come together. we can all come together and we can make the world better for people who don't have a home. We can solve homelessness together. Let's do this together. That would be Gene Roddenberry's way of telling the story. He would be able to say, oh, well, look, Van Gelder, look at what Van Gelder is trying to do. He's trying to cure people. And so we had this hope that in the future, things would be better because we would work together to do that. And that's what Gene Roddenberry's storytelling is meant to do. It is not meant to admonish, to belittle, or to use hegemony, bourgeoisie or corporate hegemony to get people to say, okay, so this is what you think. You're garbage. I'm just going to assume that you have garbage opinions about mental illness, garbage opinions about developmental disability, and garbage opinions about homelessness. And you can't assume that about the reader. You can't assume that about the audience. That's not the way rhetoric works. It's certainly not the way that really heartfelt, sincere rhetoric works. Because what you're doing is you're saying you're a piece of crap, and everything you believe and everything you think is wrong. I'm here to show you that I'm right. What kind of connection are you building with the audience there? So it's a twofold disgust, because they're not using Gene Roddenberry's way of using the Socratic dialectic to get people engaged in the information. And they're also assuming you're a piece of crap and I'm a piece of crap.
Hollywood's been doing that forever.
We're garbage, right? So
that's Hollywood's been doing that forever, though. So.
Yes, it's true. But to do this specifically to Gene Roddenberry, I think it's an affront. I think it's terrible.
But
and
they
welcome,
didn't think they
Citizen
were.
of the Universe.
Citizen of the Universe. Hey there, Citizen of the Universe. Welcome. And JT Kirk's here as well. Good to see you there, my friend. Now, see, I'll just say the last thing about that. Then I want to address something that's going on in the chat real quickly. This was, I hate to evoke anything political. This was definitely an attack on Reaganism. And that's what this was, because there was a big a lot of fights in political terms with Hollywood and the people on the side that they didn't like. This is Hollywood propaganda at its worst. That's what it was. That's what it was meant to be. I want to say something. Pleasant Valley Picker, you were saying earlier that you think, and I hate to single you out, but you do this a lot. You're talking about, you're giving other views, and that's fine. But then you said you don't want to do it because you think you might get hated on. That's projection on your part. Every view will be respected here, and everyone will be treated with respect, whatever their opinions are, whether they agree with what I'm saying or not, whether they like an episode that we like or dislike an episode that we dislike, or whatever any disagreement, including the political ones. You are projecting that, okay? And no one will be allowed to hate on you here, and I won't hate on you here, and Raquel won't hate on you here if you give differing opinions. So you putting that into the chat, that is in your imagination. Just wanted you to know that, and I don't appreciate it very much you doing that, presupposing that you're going to get attacked because I feel strongly about this episode that way. Just letting you know, but I do appreciate you being here. No more will be discussed about it. Don't create an issue. Give your opinion. You should know by now. You've been here a long time. You can say any opinion you want. You could even get in the chat and say, Clobby, you're full of shit, you jerk off. And I would laugh. It would be fine. In all seriousness, you're a friend of the show. Give any opinion that you want. And what is your rating, number one, of Past Tense Part 1?
Well, I respect Gene Roddenberry and I respect my audience. And I don't assume what people's opinions are. And I don't think that Star Trek is meant to do this. This is Star Trek is meant to inspire, to make us hopeful, and to draw us together, not to prove how rotten we're going to be, and to create this future that that we're terrified of, this dystopia. Star Trek isn't meant to be a dystopian tale, and right. So it's an F for me, and it fails. And I'd like to say goodnight to Raymond and Sandra Feliciano. They had a long day.
Yeah.
Two cute people. Hey. Although they did flaunt their homemade cheesecake or carrot cake with a cream cheese icing, which was pretty mean. But we love you guys very much. Congratulations. Happy birthday.
Yes.
And I'm thinking about your cake now.
Subscribe to King Dolphin TV, everybody. And again, happy birthday, Raymond. And good to see you both. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Always about the fun here, folks. Even though I'm seriously having my problems with this episode, I don't care who disagrees with me, whether it's politics or just an over a dumb episode of a TV show or a good episode of a TV show. I want you all to know that. I want you to always know that. You can disagree with us all day long. So put your real. The only thing that would offend me is if you're not putting your honest opinion in there.
Yeah.
So I give it an F minus F minus F this one. But that's just me. If you want to give it an A, 50,000 pluses, do that. And while you are now, go ahead, everyone, and start putting your rating and any views you may have about, or words you may have about past tense part 1. Number 1 will star those.
I will do that, boss.
And I will get us some Max Redstone entertainment. Wow, 10 from JT. He's got.
That's
wow,
okay. He's got some passion.
That's right. All right. Okay, everyone. Past tense, the great master of Linux himself, Max Redstone. Here we go. In DS9's past, the poor were treated quite mean. It gets rough with Cisco, Bashir, and Dax on the scene. Things go sideways fast when they alter the past. Who knew San Francisco in 2024 will get so pristine? He's having a big night here. Max is doing great. Oh, dear. Thank you, Max. Oh, man, I needed that. Good stuff, sir. Thank you. Let's see.
Eric. You have a gift from Eric. It's coming down the...
Okay, let's see.
It's in your folder.
For a $5 super chat from Eric K. says, thank you, buddy. Appreciate that, by the way. The Bronze Wrencher. Clobby loves Wesley, and I would never make fun of his shrine. Okay. Yeah, I wish I had a Wesley thing to play at you, but I don't. I could play old Niles at you, but I wouldn't do that to you. Naranax Amanda Bear says, "A. No, you can't disagree with me. You are fired, Naranax Amanda Bear." Just kidding. I love. He knows I love. This episode has always stuck with me, and I hate to say it, but it's coming true. I don't agree it's coming true, but you can say whatever you want around here. And that's, if anything, is, well, California's pretty bad, but again, why is that? But Naranax Amanda Bear, thank you so much.
I too appreciate the fact that you have a differing opinion, but I'm going to reiterate: is that the job of Star Trek? Is that the job of Star Trek, to predict how rotten we will be, and then when it comes true, we say, "Oh, that was prophecy right there." I think Gene wanted us to solve these problems together. He wanted us to look to a future holding hands and saying, you know what, we're all human beings. No matter how we vote, no matter how we feel, no matter what country we live in, we're going to unite and we're going to solve our problems. So this episode being right or accurate in some hearts and some minds isn't a vindication of it. For me, it's a betrayal of somebody who really believed in people and really believed in mankind and wanted us to be a better version of ourselves with each approaching day. So I appreciate your comments.
Number one, I think they should have stayed out of anything to do with the time frame of taking place after the 20th century, which Star Trek, of course, the show was made, and up till about first contact level. In other words, they should have always kept that fairly gray. Remember, they said Khan, from 1993 to 1996
That's
was
right.
more of a quarter of your world. Later in the episode of Space Seed, Spock talks about how whole populations were being bombed out of existence. And yet in 2024, other than, some bad things happening in that part of San Francisco, the world was nowhere near partially bombed out of existence in 30 years previous. There's no way it would have built up that soon. So they just threw that in the garbage. I think you just you could reference things here and there, but I don't think you ever should time travel to a point where you have to speculate what would happen. If you go back to the 1930s, that's one thing, like in City on the Edge of Forever, and then you do a story where someone messed with time and then the past changed. That's different. The timeline change. That's different. This is going to a time that they had to make up, and it just doesn't work. For me, it works for others, though. Narat liked it. Chris Persia says, Star Trek is meant to use allegories to showcase issues, not project.
That's right.
They could have shown the problems of homelessness on an alien planet. That's what I was thinking. Then have the Federation help, not this. And that would have been so Roddenberry to do it that way.
That was very Roddenberry. And then
Chris
you walk
Persia,
away going, hey, we don't have to feel hopeless. we're going to do this, or we're going to get over this stuff. We're going to come up with solutions. It doesn't matter who we are. We're human beings. Let's compassionate one another. Let's solve this.
That's the best view I've seen so far, and I'm proud. You know, I envy you, Chris Berger. I wish I'd have thought of it that way more than I did. That was brilliant, and I thank you. It's always great, Chris.
Love
Berger.
you, Chris.
Captain Infinity and Beyond said, I like open debate, but will always rip into bad takes. Compared to my channel, Clobby and the Professor are super duper open. Thank you, Captain. And we are. Look, I mean, yeah, well, you know, I'm like, at the worst I'll ever do to you is disagree sincerely. And then I might just throw a joke in there and, you know, bust your chops a little bit. But I want all opinions here all the time, as long as you're polite about it. I mean, you can tell me I'm full of shit and say I'm different. You can be rude and tell me I'm full of shit. I don't really care, but just I won't stand for anyone treating Raquel impolitely, but you can treat me anyway. I don't really give a shit. And you also can't treat any of my friends in the chat badly. Me, do what you want. But if you're rude to anyone in the chat, or you're rude to, you know, Raquel or any guest of mine, that I won't tolerate. Me, I don't care what you say to me. And
honey,
so as long as we're all friends and we're all having disagreements, and as long as you know that I'm actually right, even when you're giving a different opinion, kidding. Then I love all opinions being expressed here. That's what we're about.
That's right.
The Catman, aka DD Meyer, says, Clobby, I didn't care for this episode. I thought it was very boring and give it an F. And you know what? If I just take away and just turn off all the political crap that I don't like about it, the propaganda stuff, I did find it excruciatingly boring. Just on a story level. Let's say I was totally down with the message and didn't have a problem with any of that. I still would have thought it was just kind of ho-hum, another one of those types of stories, eh? JT Kirk says, 1 of 10, dude. Wow. We got it. Is that an Eshbit? No, he just says 1 of 2 later. So I'm not. Oh, 1 out of 10.
I think he gave 1 out of 10 as his rating.
My bad. I always forget. I'm sorry about that.
I just glanced at it and I thought the same thing, boss.
Well, yeah, he doesn't use letters. He does the number thing. So
he does sometimes, yeah.
I'm sorry, JT. He says, okay, writers, want to be political? The party that ran California in 95 is the same party that runs California now. Very true. Your party. This story claims you don't give a darn about those in need. That's why. But I guarantee you, the writers of that stupid episode don't see it that way. JT, where's this? He's got a second one.
He's right, though. JT's right.
That's exactly what it is. I'm trying to find a second. Oh, there we go. I found it. Yeah, I got it. This is why you don't put contemporary politics in Star Trek. Mm-hmm. This is disrespectful, ages terribly, and it's not Trek. This is like watching STD. I'd rather watch Spock's brain. Yeah. I'm totally with you, brother.
And that's a pure Roddenberry heart there, because what we should be cheering is not like, oh, look, somebody predicted a horrible future where we hate everyone who is poor or disabled or you know, or downtrodden, where we ignore them and treat them bad. We put them in ghettos, and they're, yeah, it's true. This is a great episode because it proved that we can be what? That we can be rotten. Really? Oh boy, that's not good. That's not what Star Trek's supposed to be about. Star Trek is a beacon of hope. It's a lighthouse so you don't crash up against the rocks on the island or on the shore. It is not supposed to be a, see, I told you you're rotten and you're all going to die in a fiery Armageddon. That's not what Star Trek is. Anyway.
No, not at all. Oh, this is, yeah. Absolutely, JT. I'm here. I hit the start.
Love you, JT. It's true, hun.
Absolutely, sir. Zathras says, he says F is minus, whatever. Let's talk about a real interesting time travel episode. Babylon 5, War Without End. That was great. Part 1 and 2. JMS is laughing so hard. He shite his tighty whities. That's why I say Babylon 5 is better than DS9. And you keep on saying it, buddy. You can say anything you want here. That's what I want you all to take away the most, is you can say whatever you want. Yeah, I mean it. Except unless you're mean to Raquel, or you know, you can be mean to me, but no one else. Well, you can be mean to Mark D too. I think we'll allow
I
that.
won't
But
let
other than that,
anybody be mean to you guys. I love you too much. You guys are like my family. I spend at least 8 hours a week, every week for almost 2 years with you guys. There is no way I would ever let anyone ever hurt you. You're my friend. I adore you.
and we love having you all here. All of you are always welcome. Let's see where I went. Sorry, but I lost my place. Pat S says F this episode. I think it means F. Yeah, this is the night I decide to come back. I missed the duet review. Oh, that was great. Yeah, and I'll probably. Oh, you did. Sorry, I'll probably miss it in the Pale Moonlight episode stream. That's a while away, buddy, but I'll give you a heads up if you want. But I'm here for these episodes. What's wrong with me, dude? Yeah. What the hell's wrong with you, dude? That's it, man. I tell you what. You've convinced me. You've convinced me, and so here you go.
Your agonizer, please.
Okie dokie. So that'll teach you. Classic Comics says, I never felt that this merited 2 episodes. It could have been told in 1. C-.
Agreed.
Thank you.
Agreed.
Kal-El says, C-. This episode set up what could have been an interesting premise, but focused more on the social commentary rather than providing plausible reasons for the events of the story. Another very good point there. They didn't really give you a lot of they didn't back up anything by giving you reasons why anything happened, but propagandists never do.
It's true.
The accidental time travel trope is used once again and conveniently deposits the protagonist in exactly the correct era to provide the perfect setting for the aforementioned commentary.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on there. Let me get you find your next one here, buddy. Also, the idea that Starfleet has been erased from history and yet the Defiant still exists is absolutely ludicrous. Oh, they had to find a good boy. They had to do some mental gymnastics on that one. You know,
it was so bad. The gobbledygook.
Gobbledygook. Oh boy!
Oh.
Since Starfleet was directly responsible for building the ship, oh, so dumb. Just don't do that kind of stuff. I know, Captain Finnerty. Don't go watch this one again, buddy. It'll make your head explode.
It'll give you a brain aneurysm. Don't do it. Yeah. Captain Finnerty, don't do it.
Don't do it, buddy. Cisco taking up arms in order to preserve the timeline after the death of the real Gabriel Bell was the only thing that made sense given the circumstances leading up to the event. Well, that's fair enough. I mean,
no, let's stop there for a second, though, because there's a little hole there, too, right? With the whole IDs, because why would it show Cisco's face if they switch the IDs? So they had the ration cards and they put them on different bodies. I think so that doesn't clean up well either.
Well, they did take his picture when he went to the at the beginning of that episode. Dick Miller. Yeah, Dick Miller was in this episode. You know that guy's that actor, the guy that turned out to, the guy who was his nemesis for a while and became his friend at the end. He might have done that. I don't know. The cop.
But the dead body wouldn't match the photo on the ration card.
Body wouldn't. But remember, he took his card and he may have switched and put his picture on there. I don't know.
Yeah,
he may have photoshopped this picture, but the cop, the guard who became his friend at the end, Dick Miller, that played by well-known actor Dick Miller, and that's Clint Howard was in the second part.
Yes, Clint Howard is in the second part. Wait, hold your horses.
They're all the same. Sorry, and that's the only reason why this episode was saved from a lower ranking. Thank you, Kal-El.
Got you, Stephen.
Where am I looking?
Hey, Stuntrat77 Smith is here.
Hey, Stuntrat. Lovely to see
sweetness.
You. Yeah, absolutely. Great to see you. I hope you were doing well. All right. Lord Doth, the great LT says, D, boring enough said, ugh, another time travel episode that falls flat. Part 2 is also a D. Take care of it right away. I hear you. DJ Ronnie G says, I'll give it a D because it at least amused me a bit. A D, it's a fair cop. That is totally fair, sir. Let's see.
Oh, what's this? Zathras, good night. All gotta work tomorrow.
Good night,
a historian's work is never done. Also, B5 rules with an exclamation point. Zathras, I love you. Crap, crap, crap. I love you very much.
Appreciate you, buddy. Never man, I would be disappointed if he never said that. If he forgot to say that.
I love it.
Oh, enigmatic drop bear says F. Star Trek cannot and should not do time travel stories. They should not use the transporters as a MacGuffin.
Yes.
They should not wrap the Defiant in subspace bubble plot armor.
Yes.
Wow. Exactly. I also really wish they had left the Antipodian. How do you say that? Is it that's it right? Antipodian references out of these two episodes. Within the context of the story, it hints at colonialism and the British Empire's convict policies. Ah, good point. By my calculations, the date of the revolution will align with our reviews of the later season 4 episodes of Enterprise. Mark your calendars, folks. Wow.
Yeah.
Well done as always.
And what will be wonderful is in that Enterprise, we actually go back to Hope.
Well, yep. Hungry Boy says, D+. A cold open with the full ensemble cast nailing it is a pure joy for geeks and theater fans alike. This opener was as good as a 1967 Kirby FF comic or 1968 Steranko Nick Fury. My Roger Corman film fan delight boiled over seeing Dick Miller. This was the first time the Bronx acting style was infused into Deep Space Nine, and I dig it.
Can you dig it?
Can you dig it? But I knew there was a but coming somewhere. These let's go back to almost contemporary times eps in ST or Doctor Who. It's a budget cheat, and we all know it. Plus a play hooky for the writers reusing easy allegories. Haram. Thank you, the great Hungry Boy.
True.
Let's see here. Lenrod said F+ because jumpsuit uniforms always work. Well,
are you in your pajamas? I say pajamas now. Isn't that funny? All of the Canadians in the chat and my Aussie friends, we say pajamas. And the Americans say pajamas, but I spend so much time with Americans now, I say pajamas. It's so bad.
Dave G. Sound says, A+, the finest example of how to make a skippable DS9 episode. Brilliant to make you want to watch the next one instead. Oh, you rascal. You cheated just like they did with the episode, I guess. Good one, Dave G. Pleasant Valley Picker says, A, reviewing both parts together, hope that's okay. It's perfectly fine. The story is about what happens when a country devalues its citizens to the point of citizenship becoming of little value. Hang on, get the second one here. Interesting time travel story. It's scary how the story pretty accurately predicted in 2024 the state of our world now. I don't see how it did, but okay. I liked this one back then, and it still holds up. Tent cities here now. Well, here in some regards, nothing like in this show, but that's okay. We don't have to have that argument. That's fine. You liked it. That's great. You're not the only one that gave it a high rating. Although Dave G cheated with his high rating, but we still liked it. Thank you, Pleasant Valley Picker. Das Wolfen says, this is a C+ for me. It was a sketchy storyline, but the acting was generally good. Looking back to the episode with the eyes of today, it is interesting to see what kind of alternate future they see. Cassandra,
you received a gift from DJ Ronnie G, and it's in your folder, boss.
Oh, okay. DJ Ronnie G, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. He says, I discovered B5 in 2017 after having watched many Star Trek episodes multiple times. I recommend all of B5 Crusade and even the stupid Ranger movie. It was kind of dopey, wasn't it? But at least Jakar's in it. Love B5, so thank you for that. Love absolutely. B5. Love some B5. Cassandra Beacom says C-. This episode was a bad buffet of primitive directive concerns again, teleporter era again, time travel again. The writers failed the characters, the actors, and the audience.
Yes.
Let's see here. Let me find your second one there. Hang on, Cassandra. Oh, there we go. Gotcha. Let's see. The first interfacial kiss was track. It says interfacial. But maybe,
Probably autocorrect.
okay, yeah. I got you. Yeah, but it is interracial. Yes, of course. Yet the scary part of this episode is cities around the country is close to resembling this episode. Well, thank you so much, Cassandra. Appreciate that. Is that the first time we've seen a review from Cassandra? I can't remember.
No, I think she throws one out every once in a while when she likes the episode and she remembers.
Gotcha.
She only likes to comment if she like fully remembers the episode.
Okay, dope. Thank you, Cassandra. And when speaking of Beacums, we've got Michael. Michael Beacom, what's up, buddy? He says C-. This two-parter has a lot against it. Time travel, magic transporter, cast of cardboard cutouts, troublemaker, good father, bigoted guard who turns it around, virtuous lady, social worker. Yeah, it's got the cliches going strong, doesn't it, dude?
Yep.
It has a lot of things for it. Dick Miller, yeah, who doesn't love Dick Miller? Clint Howard, yep. Bashir's tough. Cisco's a badass. Jadzia rocks her fashion. The story could have been written current day. That is not a good thing.
Exactly, right?
Cisco is a badass, but I mean, it's kind of, boy, he did some overacting in this one, and I love I
hate it when he overacts. It's so bad.
He did it once. I mean, I kind of enjoy it when he does it, to be honest with you. It's just that I don't like the episode, but I got to admit, when he was yelling at that guy, I don't know, the jerk guy who was running around, who was with him holding the hostages.
Yeah,
it was pretty over the top, but it was kind of funny. I mean, it's kind of I love when I just love Avery Brooks.
He just sometimes
I love him,
sometimes he doesn't realize that he's not doing stage acting, that type of acting translates completely differently in real life. I see a lot of stage plays, a lot of musicals, a lot of in-person entertainment, and that requires a different type of acting than when you're on screen. So there's sometimes where he switches into like stage acting and it translates completely differently in celluloid. In celluloid, he looks like a nitwit. He looks like an nincompoop who's totally overacting. But in real life, on stage, he would be fab.
Even when he does it, I just love the guy. I think he's great.
I love him too.
Andrew, by the way, I'm seeing this is 3. The next one I got is 5. I don't see his 4th comment. Maybe did it get eaten?
I don't know.
Michael's 4.
Go ahead and handle it, and I will go and look for it, boss.
Andre Bormanis, page 197. That means, of course, of the Star Trek companion, folks. The Star Trek Deep Space Nine companion. I don't know why they worry so much about rationalizing it. It's just sort of a Star Trek science fiction staple that we occasionally do, time travel. That explains a lot. Yeah. I don't know where number 4 is, Michael.
I'm looking for it now, boss.
Raquel's looking for it. I'm going to read you number 5, and if she can find number 4, we'll get back to it. I know you got another chat in here, but it doesn't say it's number 4. You got one later, which I will get to.
Now. I'm looking
so now. I don't know. Michael, I'm not sure what the deal is. That could have just gotten eaten by Facebook. I'm sorry. But we'll get to it if we can find it, and I'm terribly sorry about that, Michael. Thank you, though. Number 5 of Michael. This skips his 4 because I'm not sure what happened to it. Well, you can see the time. His number 5 is at 11:25, so it'd have to be before that. So, and it was the other one was at 11. I mean, almost right before that. So,
I got that one.
So if you can't find it around there, maybe it got whacked.
I think it might have gotten whacked, but I'm right in the thick of that right now. I'm in the 28th. I'll be right there, boss. If it's here, I'll mark it.
Gotcha. Let's see here. The commentary and social observations were not Trek. Gene wisely kept away from Earth for the most part, set in on or an alien world. Then no time travel necessary. Yeah, spot on there, buddy. But if we can get 4, we'll go for it, man. I don't know what the deal is on that.
You had 5 out of 5?
I had 1, 2, 3, and 5.
Hold on. Oh, no, there's no 4. It's been vaporized.
4 must
Between
have been
24 and 25, there is no 4 out of 5. All I have is Hungry Boy, Lenrod, Pleasant Valley Picker, and then poor Minimus who hasn't slept in like a week. And so 4 was vaporized by the algorithm, probably.
Minimus, get your ass to sleep.
Go to bed.
Hang on. Let's see. I have a note. Still no sleep? Shit, what's wrong? Dude.
Eric has it.
Oh, he does.
Yep.
And so does thanks Eric, and so does I have it right here. Okay, I can't put it up, but I can read it. So number 4 for Michael. So it's just a little out of order there. Sorry, Michael.
It's a good comment.
Also, page 197, Wolf. My belief is the less you explain it, the better off you are. Not in science fiction, you mental defective.
It's
Explaining it is what the genre is for.
That's right.
So what happened?
That's
That
exactly it.
That one just didn't make it up there. We just
No, it got vaporized.
How'd they get it
for us, for you and I. It's not on our side. It's there now under Eric. Eric put it up at 47 minutes past the hour.
Because maybe they used the term mental defective. Maybe.
Yeah, I think it got vaporized because of that.
It probably in caps. That's what it was. Well, he did have one other comment later. A little later, he said,
"Oh, I got that one too." Yeah.
He said, "Clobberin Times, R.M. Briggs, and Chris Persia. When Trek wants to talk about racism, it shows us aliens, half black, half white. It does not time travel to the Watts rights." Yes,
it's true.
That's the way I like.
It's supposed to allow us to step outside of ourselves and stop judging other people and acting all self-righteous and like we're stainless and like we have all the answers. And that's why it's meant for that. Well, that's why he did it that way. And I totally agree, Michael Beacom.
These idiots don't understand that. Max Redstone says, D minus. It is the job of The Simpsons to predict the future, not Star Trek. I renamed this episode The Crap Trap. Damn it, Mark G's.
It's great.
Shooter says, B, 2 years from now, something tells me 2024 won't be like that. So transporters can dimension jump, clone, combine, and now time travel. You think they would correct these issues? Yes.
Okay, hit pause for 2 seconds. Don't change what's there. Just stay where you are. Don't move anything.
Oh, I already moved.
Anonymous got Anonymous usually gets ready for work when he's listening to us.
Who?
And we're approaching 11 p.m. Mountain Time. So
Who?
Anonymous is ready to go to work, I believe. And
Anonymous?
so he's saying good night, everyone. So everyone, please say good night to Anonymous.
I didn't know he was here.
And if you're on your way to, well, he lurks a lot of the time. If you're on your way to work, Anonymous, have a great day at work, sweetheart.
Yes, take care, man. Like I said, I didn't know he was here. I would have shouted you out. Part 1 is all set up for part 2. It is interesting, but doesn't stand on its own. City on the edge of tomorrow, done again. Yeah, forever, of course, but I hear you. Oh, well, at least it is done well, says Shooter, and also says, the Defiant is magically spared the temporal change. And should the Defiant even observe a change? Cisco sorted the issue with help. As such, there should not have been a temporal change. Yeah, it was really so badly done.
And we only have a certain amount of neutrinos on the outside of the hull, and we'll collect them, and that's how we'll time travel. Oh, head desk.
They would have been better off using the slingshot around the sun. It would at least have been something been done before. That's less flimsy than this, and I don't like that much. Wolfie says rating C. It seemed to me that the dates in this are incorrect and irrelevant. This is the Trek history that was supposed to have the eugenics wars in 1996, etc. Millions dead. Exactly, Wolfie. It was ridiculous. They just said, screw it. They don't care about canon. I got some real vibes from the overall situation in Soylent Green in this. Yeah. That's kind of what they were going for.
Make room. That's a very good book. It's very different than Soylent Green, but Make Room is a book you should read.
It's what they were going for in a very milquetoast way.
Mm-hmm.
Overall message I took out of it was the lack of care and compassion of humanity for humanity will take an eventual giant leap forward in the Trek timeline. It just, everything about the episode is so badly done, in my opinion, all of it. Nothing is well written. Nothing makes any sense. Contrived drivel. Even if I agreed with what they were saying at the time, and believe me, this is like a lot of things. This was very timely. This was a timely argument going on at the time, and they were blaming people. This was a blame job, this episode. Even if I agreed with them, I would still think this was done poorly. So just so we can get that out there. Dick Miller is fantastic in every B movie, TV show he is in. Hey, just what you see, pal. Yeah, we all love Dick Miller. He was great.
Das Wolfen has to leave. He says it's getting
All right,
late
Das
for him.
Wolfen, have a good one.
He went ahead and left his review for part 2. I've started. It's in your folder, but
Okay.
don't read it. We'll save it for the part 2. Good night, Das Wolfen. Thank you
Will
so
do.
much for joining us, friend.
Will do.
Yes, chronoton particles, not neutrinos. You're right, enigmatic drop bear. Sorry about that. Chronoton particles.
D-Bud wrote something. Oh, I have folks asking for Clobby and Raquel to do B5 after we complete the 735. Well, you never know. I wouldn't be against that.
Just walked through the door.
Who?
That cute vampirella, that sweetheart of a lady, Maria with Tea and Telly.
Maria? Oh,
hello, Maria.
I am honored to see you there.
Everyone, please say hello to Maria.
Absolutely. It is wonderful to see you, Maria. Thank you for popping in. Let's see here. Where are we at? I'll go with Das Wolfman's second part anyway, because people are combining them now, it seems like.
Okay, boss. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to call it a night. Part 2 is C. Have a good night, all. Thank you. All right. Anti-Derivative Jill, our wonderful communications officer,
Nerd,
says parts 1 and 2, B. She says, gives them a B. Magic Transporter. This is a disturbing, dystopic prediction of a future with slum prisons. We have the tent cities, but not the walls. We have nothing like what they were portraying, though. Sorry, it's not like that. Even though real people will be kind to one another, there are external corporations and governments who see value in pigeonholing everyone into divisions that we really don't have to follow. I'd rate it higher, but I kept waiting for Trek to happen, for Cisco to reject the notion of hostages and connect with the other side. Didn't see it as harshly as you, but still disappointed. That's a fair cop. Don't worry about that. Sorry, communications officer here with Radical YouTube news. We all get the community tab now.
Dun,
what?
Dun, dun, dun.
What does that mean?
I think everyone can see the community tab, and so she can see all the information now on each channel.
Oh, all right, I got you. Okay,
I've had it for a while, so
all right, fair enough.
But you know how YouTube is; they roll it out to different people in sections.
You starred ED saying absolutely plot hole.
Yeah, about the whole thing with the leaving the ration badges with the photographic evidence of the ration badge on the body that did not match the Cisco, and Cisco had obviously done extensive negotiating, and then they entered Cisco's photograph into the computer, but of course it would not have matched the body. So a lot of people liked that I brought that up. I just wanted you to see that.
You also starred Good Point Raquel from
Stephen M is the one who brought it up, so I thought I should circle back on him.
And JT Kirk said Gabriel Bell already died once and they knew who it was. Putting ration cards on rando dead bodies is not going to help.
This is my point. I agree, JT Kirk.
Right. Well, our final review of episode 1 of part 1 of Past Tense, C- from the Great Monk D with a C. I loathe time travel in Trek, and the writers used it as a cheap plot device to pontificate with a not too veiled critique of the politics of the day. Very true. That's what I hate. One of the reasons I hate it so much.
Yep.
One of the reasons. The writers try to evoke the magic of the sitting on the edge of forever. However, no real sacrifices are needed to be made by Cisco or the crew. No, just preaching. The show is set in the past before WW3 and First Contact, so it is a surprise that society is not a utopia in 2024. No, it is. You're right. It's not a means. No, it's not. It's just bad stuff. In my opinion, it's just a piece of trash. But not everybody agrees. So,
Plus the belly picker. No one mentioned the dude with the hat. What was his name again? Morris the cat. He was pretty good.
The guy with the hat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the bat. Yeah, he was. Yeah,
that baddie.
I think that actor was fairly familiar. I think I've seen him something before. Sunbrad said I never got to Never got to work on DS9, but worked on a couple of episodes of TNG, or Star Trek Next Generation. Oh, so fun. Cool. Great to hear that. And thank you for being here. Thanks again for being here. All right, are we ready for our final episode of the evening?
Let's do it.
And that, of course, will be Past Tense Part 2 Electric Boogaloo.
You mean part poo?
Well,
Yes,
that's what I call
folks.
it.
Past
But
tense
while you're
part
doing that,
poo.
by the way, I will go take medicine.
Okay.
You have the con.
All right, everyone. Watch my back. You guys got my 6? Let's do this. Past Tense is season 3, episode 12. This is an international audience, so if those numbers do not work with your numbers, fear not. It's prod code 458. You will also read that in the official text for this this iteration of Star Trek. We all watched this for the very first time on January 9th, 1995. I'm going to be reading extemporaneously from Wikipedia to hear what the internet has to say, the collective internet has to say about the part 2 plot synopsis summary of this episode. Sisko tries to ensure that no one gets hurt during the standoff, while at the same time understanding that Bell must die at the end of it. He makes demands to the governor, insisting that they be given airtime to express their grievances. He wants the sanctuary districts closed and their residents to be given opportunities to earn an honest living. Dax watches news coverage of the riots from Brenner's office, knowing Sisko and Bashir are caught in the sanctuary district and are in danger, and heads down to find them. She sneaks along an underground sewer line, but is caught and delivered to the employment center to explain herself. Sisko and Bashir meet with her in secret to explain why they must stay until the crisis is over. She sneaks back out, certain that Brenner will be able to order a terminal activated at the processing center so that the leaders of the revolt can tell their stories and have them broadcast worldwide, which was the main force that turned public opinion against the sanctuary districts and led to their abolition. After several fruitless attempts to locate their fellow officers, Kira and O'Brien finally transport themselves to the correct year and contact Dax. Even the correct reality. They stand by to rescue Sisko and Bashir if they can. Having rejected the hostage takers' demands, the governor sends in a SWAT team to end the riots once and for all. The team kills many rioters, and Sisko is shot while protecting one of the hostages. Bashir finds the wounds to be non-fatal, and the two are horrified to see bodies littering the streets of the sanctuary district as the riots subside. The two police officers who first confronted Sisko and Bashir agree to plant the pair's identification cards on two victims and also to tell the truth about these events. All 5 officers beam back to the Defiant in the 24th century and find that the timeline has been fully restored, except for the fact that the Bell riots entry in the historical records now shows Sisko's picture instead of his own. So that shouldn't say instead of his own, but remember, this is user-generated stuff. It should say instead of Bell's. And that is all the internet has to say about Past Tense Part Poo. Boss, are you back from taking the meds?
Yeah.
What did you think of this episode, boss? What's the poop? What's the skinny? Tell me, what you think?
Right. Well, I've already pretty much went off on it because it's all the same episode, really. So yeah, I mean, pretty much this. I mean,
crap, 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 crap.
I mean, don't have much more to say. I've already said my piece on the first episode. I admit the same thing for the second one. It was, I guess, it was some of the, I don't know, them going back, them messing around in time. Hello, Rod Thunderheart.
Rod Thunderheart. Hello, Alberta, my fellow
Good
Alberta.
to see you, buddy.
Sending love and congratulations on your new job. I'm loving those pictures, and you're so happy to be working. And yeah, keep up the good work, sweetheart.
Good
Congratulations.
To see you, man. Good to see you. So yeah, I don't have don't really have much different opinion of this one. I thought it was just continuing The first part, which I hated and despised. This was a little bit even more of that. It was some of the stuff. I guess. I mean, it's so simplistic when you think about it. Taking a few hostages, 5 hostages or 6 hostages, is going to change the. Is going to make people change political policies that you don't like. That's really going to work. And it was so flimsy that these writers are so bankrupt with creativity that they think that an event like this was going to just change all of humanity because of this hostage taking situation. And the fact that this one guy, this guy, even though he was taking hostages, ends up saving them, is going to change the world so much so that if it doesn't happen, the whole timeline, the Federation will never exist. It's just so freaking stupid. Everything about the episode is stupid. I'm not even going to go anymore. It just aggravates me. So
yeah, and like wouldn't Gabriel Bell's family recognize that that's not him? And so he had no family. That's another convenient thing. Yeah. Anyway, it's just the writing is so bad. But I mean, this is a story by Ira Stephen Bear and Robert Hewitt Wolf, he often writes real stinkers, like a really, really piping hot, stinky, poopy baby diaper. And then we've got the teleplay by Robert Hewitt Wolf, Ira Stephen Bear, and then, of course, another purveyor of very, very full, stinky diapers, Renee Echevarria. And we all know what Renee Echevarria is capable of. I mean, in the world of poo, I mean, it's a plethora of poo. Like it's just a lot of poo. So anyway, these are my notes.
You're killing me.
This is an intense drama about homelessness and poverty. Most of this second part plays like a 1990s bank robbery. And this was a movie style that was common at the time. So nothing profound or beautiful or political or edifying or some type of really intense rhetoric that's supposed to create cultural transformation or enlightened witness. None of that actually transpires. It's just, this is 1990s bank robbery, and very common at the time. And here are 3 pieces of evidence to that effect. The diabetic. Everybody knows when you rob a bank and there are hostages, there has to be a diabetic. Will they save the diabetic? The moral discussions. So they discuss who's willing to kill and who isn't, and then of course the ethical standoffs at gunpoint when when the hostages make friends with they're the people who are holding them, and then there is a scuffle between them. So this is 1990s bank robbery movie. Nothing profound.
It's Dog Day. It's Dog Day afternoon.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So reinforced commentary on forced confinement of whole neighborhoods and forced welfare. Again, what are they trying to prove here? As somebody who studies social science for a living, communications and technology scholar, I'm asking why, if you were for this type of reformation, if you want to be edified through this episode, why would you keep pushing this agenda of the forced confinement and the forced welfare? Who would do that? It sort of makes it seem as though then socialism would be a bad thing. So what are they arguing against if they're arguing against Reaganomics? So it's quite clear here that this discombobulated mess is just a heaping, stinky, poopy baby diaper of ideas. Okay. Jadzia lifts a manhole cover. Everyone should know that a manhole typically weighs between manhole cover typically weighs between 150 and 300 pounds. And there's a reason for this. Because if you drive over it, it would kill people. Like, it's, so I wrote in my notes, this is very Wile E. Coyote. And I love that it's like the Acme manhole cover that they can just lift up whenever they want. I mean, Jillian lifts it up with one hand. It's quite hysterical. And then we have Clint Howard. I love Clint Howard. However, I'm upset that he doesn't have any Tranya. This is not science fiction. This is not Star Trek. And then there is one particularly stupid line in the show that I have to point out because it's just so stupid that like I have to point it out. Cisco says to Vin being the Dick Miller character, the squishy, wrinkly faced guard who has a sudden transformation in how he feels about these people. Cisco says, "The next time I tell you to stay down," and then Vin answers, "I'll stay down." Why do these two have this exchange? This makes no sense at all. This is the dumbest effing line perhaps in all of Star Trek. They're never going to see each other ever again, and they both know it. There's nothing in the story, in the interior of the story or the exterior of the story, which would necessitate Cisco saying to him, "The next time I tell you to stay down." And Vin answers, "I know, I'll stay down." When? Where? Poo. This is a poopy diaper. This is a poopy diaper of terrible, terrible, terrible writing. And that's all I wrote in my notes.
With love and respect to Clint Howard, because I still love him.
With love and respect to Clint Howard, I mean, he was it was the only beautiful thing about it. And they didn't even give him any Tranya. I want Tranya.
I want Tranya. He said, Dave G says, by the way, manhole covers are not 300 pounds. They're 85 pounds. You didn't say they were 300.
No, actually, they're not. So Dave G Sound, they typically weigh. So typically they weigh up, which is what I said, 150 to 300 pounds, and that is absolutely true. And there are some places where they're smaller and they weigh less than that, but they're not being driven over. So certainly in the middle of the street, you wouldn't have even an 85-pound manhole cover. That would probably be a decorative one you would see on a boulevard that wouldn't be driven over by an 18-wheeler truck. So it's very Wile E. Coyote. The weight of them varies a great deal depending upon their usage. This was directly in the middle of the street. So we're talking about the big heavy ones that have to withstand an 18-wheeler driving over them, big heavy machinery driving over them. It's not something somebody can lift up with one hand, and it's certainly not something that Jadzia can just lift up with her fingers. That's dumb. That's dumb.
Well, so what is your rating of Past Tense Part 2 Electric Boogaloo?
It's an F.
So I give it an F minus. So everyone, now you can start your reviews, please. What is your rating of Past Tense 2 Electric Boogaloo, and any words you may have about this scintillating episode
of poo.
Of poop. And
it's just poo, like it's complete poo.
Yeah.
Poo. Very poopy.
Yeah, I must agree. I totally concur. That is total garbage for me. But some like it. So what are you gonna do? But what you gonna do? All righty. Well, you know what?
There's no accounting for taste, though, is there? I mean, Mark eats clam pizza.
He's a very tasteful individual.
He is like a great guy, but he eats sea tongues on pizza.
Since Past Tense is a two-parter, so you don't need more than one limerick. Get one. I'm going to read Max's limerick again, which covers both episodes. Okay, we're ready?
Do it.
A long-core presentation of Past Tense by Max Redstone is here we go. In DS9's past, the poor were treated quite mean. It gets rough with Cisco, Bashir, and Dax on the scene. Things go sideways fast when they alter the past. Who knew San Francisco in 2024 will get so pristine? Thank you again to the great Max Redstone for that.
Maximum Redstone.
Cassandra Beacom says, let's see. I think it's just D. Unless the I think because usually if it's a minus, it would be next to it. It's probably a separator, but either way, D. And let me she could tell me if it's different. Randomly time skipping through the decades is not the method O'Brien should have used. The universe outside is absent. Google the. Gotta find your second one here, Cassandra.
I just ticked it. It's at the bottom of the list.
There we go. Gotcha. Google the differences or events that were major that match the 10 skips. Good point. Use some computer input before the last guess choice. Oh, that was so silly. Yeah. Fans submit better scripts. By the way, see Black Adam much better. Yeah, I thought it was all right. I thought Black Adam was decent. Thank you so much, Cassandra Beacom. And now the great Michael Beacom says D. Lots of insight into the showrunners in DS9 Companion, page 197. It's surprising that we never heard about Starfleet's temporal displacement policy until this episode. How convenient. Yes. Let's see here. Humorous moments as both O'Brien and Kira attempted to locate their fellow officers throughout time. The numerous discussions had throughout the episode amongst the different characters were... Hang on. Hang on, Michael. There we go.
It's weird that they send O'Brien down, though. Why wouldn't they send Odo down? Like, why? Like O'Brien is the transporter chief. And since you're using the transporter to travel through space and time, why wouldn't the transporter chief be in charge of such, like, extremely intricate calculations? As far as I know, Odo has no Starfleet training whatsoever, and he's not a a transporter. He's not like he's not a temporal engineer or whatever. Anyway, I have so many issues with these episodes. I can't even.
Yeah, there's so much wrong with it. Let's see. One, I was just making sure I'm in the right spot. Well, there's certainly been enough of it. Wolf chuckles. Sorry. Page 199. Pillar admits that they stretched it into a two-parter to spread the cost, not because there were enough story. Boy, there certainly wasn't. No new sets. No new sets, and they just backlots. Yes. Hang on, Michael. Got to find your next one there, bud.
He says that Cassandra said the same thing I said as she watched the episode, and JT Kirk's chiming in too. Yeah, like just make Odo into a puppy. Call him Toto, and Kira can go down to the surface with Toto. But you leave if I'm traveling through space and time, I want O'Brien doing it, not Odo.
That's a good point. He is a transporter master.
He is
Page 202. Ira Bear strikes back at the fans who accuse him of being soapboxy, quote unquote. He mentions the feel-good attitude of Forrest Gump. Yes, it's important to feel good, but in reality, he should. I've heard Ira Bear talk about a lot of things. He has no grasp of reality. But anyway, in reality, in 1995, Forrest Gump would be homeless. He wasn't. And that movie was 1994. So in 1995, he was actually a gazillionaire, dummy. But Bear, you don't have Gene's hope. That is why you fail, says Michael Beacom. Thank you so much, Michael Beacom.
Michael Beacom. Love you.
Apparently, he didn't even see Forrest Gump because that's just not accurate.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Cassandra, did I already get this one? Oh, yeah, I got that one. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Max Redstone says, S for shite. This made me long for the shit explorers. Chronotons, fake IDs, Calgon, take me away. Always.
It's so bad.
Always well done, sir. Pat S says, F-. I'm still giving part 2 an F-. Yeah. But I'd be willing to bump it up to a D- if the guy who shot Cisco would have first said, "Hey, Bell, Did you see this? Did you see the sunrise this morning? Then shot him, referencing an obscure reference to a Magnum PI episode, which was great. That was Magnum shooting Bo Svensson right in the back for killing his buddy. I don't think you're going to get one of those by me, badass. Yeah, I'm probably the only dumbass that knows it other than Minimus. Minimus would know it, but he might be asleep. But a good one. I love those obscure ones. JT Kirk says F-. Cisco violates the temporal prime directive acting as Bell. Where is temporal investigation? Cisco wears plot Kevlar. This two-parter had nothing to do with the arc of the season whatsoever.
Yeah,
correct?
like Wolfie said, why stretch it out? Why?
Budget. Thanks to Michael, we know because they admitted it was one of them was Pillar admitting it was budget.
Yep.
Which is not a good reason to write crap, but JT has another one, doesn't he? It said one of there it is. Got it. Yeah. The best part was when this abomination finally ended. I gloriously shouted, "Olive migraine." Did you shout that? Are you sure you shouted that, or did you shout? Just being sure. You naughty sir. Shooter says B+. I enjoyed this episode, but could have been done in any show without the time travel. Some very good performances and satisfying conclusion. Also, it is always raiding in Tasmania. Is that that's the name of a TV show, isn't it? I don't know. Just kidding. The final scene is a little on the nose, and I feel cheapens the episode.
Mm-hmm.
If you hadn't seen the political message by here, the writers made sure you knew it. Boy, did they ever.
Mm-hmm.
That's what propagandists do, buddy. Cal L. Super One says, C+. This episode does a satisfactory job continuing the story, but also keeps the social commentary at the forefront of discussion. To its credit, though there were some mildly, and I'll get to your next one in a second, buddy. So then find it. Cal L, where are you? There you are. Oh, where's number 2 from him?
Should be there.
That was 1, and I'm seeing 3.
Where are you, honey?
And 4.
I will go find you.
His number 3 is at 12:11, if that helps.
11.
Sorry, Khalil.
I don't have anything there.
Not again.
I've got 4 of 4 from Kal-El, and then I've got Michael Beacom, Hungry Boy, GT Kirk,
Yeah.
Enigmatic Drop Bear, Hungry Boy,
I
Michael
see 4.
Beacom, 2 of 4. So he's
I see his 3.
3 of 4.
I see. What am I looking for? 2?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, 2 of 4 is there. Oh, no, that's Enigmatic Drop Bear. Sorry.
No, I got his 2.
You got it? Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't starred. Okay, you just must have.
Sorry.
I got it now. What? You are fired.
Fired.
We got you.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
There were some humorous moments as both O'Brien and Kira attempted to locate their fellow officers throughout time. The numerous discussions had throughout the episode amongst the different characters were. Hang on.
Sorry about that, Kal-El. That was my fault, honey.
He's not mad at you. He loves you. Somewhat interesting and kept the story moving along. And it even made sense for the 21st century characters to be discussing the issues. The ending did bring the story to a logical, hang on. Conclusion, but there were far too many missteps throughout to make this episode even remotely enjoyable.
Okay, well, Michael Beacom has
that.
a reason why it got mixed up. He said you accidentally read his number 2 as Michael Beacom's number 2. And that's how yeah, that's okay.
Really?
It all worked out. It all worked out, right, everyone?
I'm sorry, Michael. I'm an imbecile. You know it.
You're not an imbecile.
Yes, I am.
You're a wonderful person who I love.
I'm a wonderful person, imbecile. How about that? Two can be some names. I can. Well, how about I'm a wonderful imbecile? Imbecile means I'm really great at being an imbecile. How about that? I'll take it. Enigmatic Drop Bear says F this episode. I mean, he says F. He didn't say F this episode. Just kidding. Spare me the sadistic irony. This story is telling us that we need a paradox for us to secure an optimistic and peaceful future.
Yes.
This story is effectively telling us we're stuffed.
Yes.
Hang on. Rather than a noble non-interference policy, the motive behind the Federation's temporal displacement policy would appear to be born of self-preservation.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on. What's with the sanctuary sewers? They must be the cleanest sewers in existence, and why wouldn't the residents use them to escape?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what the first thing I thought.
At least try and make it believable.
That's why I said it was very Wile E. Coyote, right? And typically anywhere in North America, well, in any Western civilization, you're not going to be able to pick up a manhole with your fingers. That's ridiculous. They vary in weight given the application, but no one can lift them up like that. That's ridiculous. And there's so much gas, it's my understanding that there are some sewers that you go down into and you have to wear a mask, otherwise you would pass out. Anyway,
it may be a vain effort to find something positive in this garbage, but I enjoyed the scene where Kira and O'Brien beamed to the 60s. Yeah, so did I, with the combi van hippies and Hey Joe blaring away. Yeah, I smiled at that. I hear you. Now, not an Amanda Bear says, hey, I like these episodes for whatever reason. I guess I don't mind if something is cheap or corny sometimes. Maybe I like it because it's terrible. Like what you like, and you don't have to have any reason for it.
That's right.
To it, not to us anyway. If you want to make your own way, that's cool. But thank you, Narat. Appreciate you. Michael Beacom said, JT Clark, thanks, guys. I'm in part amazed at the stuff in this book. I mean, they do know this is going to be printed, right?
Michael Beacom,
I guess it's so many years later, maybe they don't care. I don't know, Michael, but yeah.
Well, he raises a point though that this is the reason why I don't like using IMDb and Memory Alpha and Wikipedia and all these things, because there's so much fan lore and factoid created through fan groups that they have their own truth, their own truth that they want you to believe, and they circulate their ideas until they think that these factoids are facts. And it's so funny when you look at a vetted text with original source material in it. It will really blow you away as to what was said, what was done, the different perspectives on what was said. So you're not taking something from someone's memoir and turning that into gospel, or something somebody said at a convention, and that suddenly becomes the truth of Star Trek. So I love that Michael Beacom brought that up. And that is precisely why I think it's very important that even if you're doing a fun show like Clobby and I are doing, that you have a vetted text, and that you do take that academic approach where you go and actually find out what the facts are and then discuss them. There's no point in just talking about what other fans are saying on user-generated sites. So I love your comments, Michael Beacom. And thank you so much for pulling those key elements out of the text for me, for us, for all of us.
Hungry Boy says F-. A Cisco focused app will be dear to me, but in this case, secondary characters, actors dropping the ball lessened that joy. Looking at you, Mr. Stetson Hat. You, Aaron Spelling Show reject. Well, there you go. Well, yeah. Guy did look familiar to me for some reason. DS9 creators should have focused more on what they do well, not on what they always do badly, a la Doug Day Afternoon, Assault on Precinct 13, and DS9. Know your lane and stick to it. Yes, very Doug Day Afternoon. This ep was rescued from an F due to a Bill Smitrovich, a magnificent character actor whom later would be a prime part of the best Nero Wolf series along Maury Chaikin, R.I.P. Yes. He was on Nero Wolf, eh? That's right. Michael Beacom says, page 201, on the other hand, confesses fakey pants. I wasn't crazy about the hippie sequence and the 30 sequence. We didn't have time to do anything unique. That's right. I forgot he directed this one.
Yeah, he did.
We just stood there and watched people come out of the van and the speakeasy. So there you go. And our final review of the evening, folks. The great engineer Mark D with a C. Pop in whenever you're ready, dude. If you feel like it, that is. D. Boring, cliched episode. No interesting plot twists or turns. It's ridiculous that sicko. I don't know if you meant that or not. And the other hostage takers are just allowed to walk away. Yeah, it was just.
That was very strange. And also the fact that they had just been taken hostage, but instead of being examined by like a medical team and deemed okay and people being handcuffed and stuff, they were just like, we're all good. See ya.
Biggest flaw is why would the Bell Riot have had such an effect on society when the world is going to face WW3 in 25 years and then post-atomic war horror until 2070? Because the writers are morons. That's why it made no sense at all. The writers are trying to create a world-changing event when in reality, not that many people would remember these. Thank you. Very well noted.
It's what he's saying is perfect. And
absolutely
he's articulated
perfect,
it perfectly. And that's
said,
why a lot of people are like, why the hell am I watching this?
It was ridiculous.
It would have been so much better if they would have done something science fiction. So invent a race, make them as physically repulsive as possible. You get something happens and okay, let's say that you travel through space and time and there's some accident. Please don't make it a transporter accident, but let's say you just happen upon this planet and you go there and you see this huge difference in the way that they're developmentally disabled and they're physically disabled people are treated, and there's a caste society or a caste society, and then you would have them working through this idea of why that's wrong and how human beings overcame that, how Bajorans overcame that, and how Odo feels about it being a founder, and how they have to overcome that together as a race. I mean, that now you're talking science fiction. Now you're talking Gene Roddenberry science fiction. There's no reason for this shite episode, and there's no reason for this heavy-handed crap of just saying that we're all garbage and supposing how we feel when they don't know how we feel. They don't know how I feel.
Absolutely, Captain Finity. Yeah, buddy. Well, all right, everybody, that wraps up the episodes. We have a little special surprise for you. The great Wolfie, who's our Starship expert, has come through again with some pictures.
Cool.
Thank you, Wolfie, and hello, everyone. Thank you.
Welcome
I'm back from making clam pizza.
Our chief engineer is here. Chief clam engineer.
Yeah. I needed a good laugh tonight, so you guys had me going good. So it's still a little bit under the weather from this junk, but maybe some clam pizza and those laughs will do it.
Don't have clam pizza.
All right, chicken soup. Chicken soup, right?
Tell us again, and tell you what, Wolfie, go ahead and tell us again in the chat so everyone will know what we're looking at. These are some ships from the episode Defiant, some Cardassian ships apparently. He did tell me, but I'm off. I have to find that. I just on the pictures right now. I can go find out. I could find out. But here's
It always reminded me of shrimp bugs for some reason. These Cardassian ships.
It's weird you should say that because I think the same thing.
Right? With the tail.
Especially when they turn, like when they turn
fly like bugs, right?
Yes.
This one here's the Galar class Cardassian ship we have seen. The new Keldon class. I've seen DS9 Defiant for the first time. Let's see here. Is this one here? Okay, yeah, there's the Keldon class that we saw in that episode.
I like that one better.
Okay, so yeah, there's Wolfie says first pick is of the original Galar filming model from TNG. And the second pick is the Keldon class, which is this one here. Thank you, sir. And here's a comparison of the two of them here. There you go. Always keeping us up to date on the ships. I really appreciate that, Wolfie. Thank you so much, man. He knows those ships, man. They're some interesting ships, aren't they?
Well, the great thing about Star Trek is they have once they pick a ship class, they stick to it. We won't mention the new junk, but you know, you see a Kardashian ship, you know it's a Kardashian ship, even though if you're not an expert like Wolfie.
Guys are all saying Kardashian instead of Kardashian now.
That's like
Wolfie, look at what you've done. Look at what you've done to my crew.
Wolfie's fault.
It's Wolfie's.
But yeah, so but that's the great thing about Star Trek with the, you know, the Romulan designs.
Good night, Michael.
You know what the good night, Michael.
Good night,
You know
Michael.
what-
Thank
Michael and
you
Cassandra,
so
have a
much.
great night. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for everything. Good night, Cassandra. Good night, Michael. Thank you so much for your wonderful conversation this evening and for you know, quoting the book and bringing all those great
Appreciate
facts. Love it. Thank you.
Yeah, so you
she
can-
says
well,
the third pick is the comparison to the and put the Kardashian military emblem in the Obsidian Order. Thank you so much.
Poor guys.
Appreciate you,
Poor
Wolfie.
guys.
You rock,
Yeah.
brother.
But that's what's so nice. Yeah, you always recognize the class based on the race and the design, and even, you know, new P-hard junk. They even went retro. They said our ships really weren't looking that good, so the new ship actually looks like a ship from Star Trek. Surprise, surprise, surprise. But yeah, those are cool and very
Screwed off of
organic
that.
looking, very creature looking with these Kardashian ships. Yep.
Yes, sir. Well, there you
And
go.
it kind of matches Deep Space Nine too, obviously, right? With the, which is you know, not a Federation design, so that you can picture those ships docking there.
Sure.
It fits together, yeah.
You know, it's the craft good that ship due to the easily identifiable rotund aft section.
Oh, I
Well-
got another good one. I got another good one. Wait,
Keldon class is thick.
look at this. Be seeing you.
Be seeing you.
Good night,
Seeing you,
sweet lady.
Cassandra. Have a good one. Well, everybody. Hey, what it was? We've kept you up going for a pretty good while. That took a while. Sometimes we do it faster than others. I don't know why or what happens.
Not too long tonight. 3.5,
we're
right?
at almost 3.5. You know, it's gonna take us to get out of here.
Oh, people
Listen,
love
Wolfie,
hanging out on Saturday night
They
Star
don't-
Trek.
I
so,
know
yeah.
they do. Except they were mad at me for hating an episode. Just kidding. Just kidding. So
Yeah, that episode
Wolfie
was
says shout out.
confounding.
No, it's horrible to me. Shout out to the amazing artists that built the original ship for the show and did the modifications they did. When they converted to CGI later on the DS and on DS9, they kept the original design. Absolutely ishness. And by the way, the episodes for next week, folks, as our wonderful and chief of communications Jill showed, are the following. She put them in there, but here's a picture of them: Life Support, Heart of Stone, Destiny, Profit Motive. Good, bad, or indifferent. At least they're not time travel-y drivel, and they take place in, you know, in space and
And Spoon Shadow.
In space,
Spoon Shadow.
There's no Spurpies in space. No, I mean, we had some clunkers tonight. I mean, wow.
Do better next week. I hear you, Pat. We're gonna try, man.
That Lexana episode, I was like excited to see her again, and then you're like, oh no, what are they doing? This is ridiculous. Yeah.
Well, everybody, I tell you what, I really appreciate you being here tonight. Any show notes, or closing words, Commander, number one.
Yes, sir. I would like to thank each and every single person who came here. I love you. You are such a great crew. Thank you for your wonderful conversation, for just, you know, adding your thoughts, and just, I enjoy your company so much. So does Clubby and so does Mark. We love hearing what you guys think and what you have to say. So thank you for taking the time to do that. Thank you for welcoming us into your homes and into your earbuds and just, you know, being here. We think you're pretty wonderful. I want to thank all of our wrenches. These guys, they don't get paid, but you know what? They keep our crew safe so that we can have really great conversations without psychos and weirdos and bots and stuff. So, you know, and they keep us together. They go and they retrieve comments that we can't find, ones that get zapped. They add so much to this programming. So I want to shout out to our wrenches. I love you guys very much. I want to shout out Mark. Please follow Mark. He's a wonderful person, very interesting, super fun, nerdy, and geeky stuff. And wow, his watch party. Thank you for your hospitality,
Oh, it was
sir.
a lot of fun
last night was great fun at Mark's watch party, Monster Party. It was great.
It was hysterical, and the movie was just cherry. It was just cherry. And I want to thank the most important person in this room, the person who brought us all together and made us all
That's Hungry Boy.
friends. He introduced all of us, and he made this space for us, and that's how we all found each other. So, Clobby, I love you, my captain. How I love you. You're the best. And thank you for this. It's another great week where I had a wonderful time with beautiful people. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all. Thank you all for being here. We're going to shout you out in a second. First, Mark D with AC. Any closing words or anything going on?
Well, just a lot of fun as usual tonight, even with some clunkers, and yeah, we kind of didn't get. I was worried about too much politics tonight, but I think that was handled very well by everyone.
I didn't get too political. I had a little bit.
No, but I was. I'm just saying we. I think everyone handled that really well tonight because it could have ended up becoming an S show, but no, that was a great discussion. I thought by everyone on all points of view. On it's a controversial episode on DS9, so. Yeah, I thought that was everyone did a great job on that one, which is not surprising considering the gang that we have here. So that was really good evening tonight and a lot of fun. I will have Sunday Night Geekery tomorrow night, and then of course Halloween's Monday night, I guess. So
I'll be here Monday night.
I'll be here Monday night. Yep. And if you haven't watched Mad Monster Party, you can't watch it again on Rewind. Although we did that discussion, but try to find that movie. It's a fun 60s Rankin Bass claymation movie in the vein of Santa Claus and Rudolph. So the link is in my show there where you can find that movie. So just check that. It's a fun one for Halloween if you haven't seen it. So and looking forward to some great shows coming up during the week. So thanks everyone, and have a great, happy, safe Halloween, and eat way too much candy. And remember, if you get a lot of extra Reese's peanut butter cups, send them my way because I can use them.
All right, everybody. Let's see. We'll do some shout outs again. First, the only show note I have is again, remember next week, these are your episodes. There we go. There we go. These are your episodes right there. Life Support, Heart of Stone, Destiny, and Profit Motive. So don't worry, Shooter. You'll have plenty of Grand Vegas next week. Don't worry. Be patient.
It's the best impression ever.
Oh, it's not good.
Oh, little Zeki.
Quad. Let me tell you now, I can't wait for my episode next week. It's about time. They should have me on more often. It's inconceivable that they don't.
Love it.
Oh my. Anyway, but I will be on Monday night. Mark C Comics Talk on Halloween night as usual. Same clubby channel, same clubby time, or maybe I got that backwards. And then next week you can find me at was it Midnight's Edge over there with Tom and the gang, and then of course my own show, and then Clobby's Clubhouse, and all that stuff. So anyway, it's time to shout everybody back out because we like to do that every time. First, I would like to say anyone who lurked, thank you so much to our wonderful lurkers, our good friends out there who can't always make it. Whatever, our good old buddy Eric O'Sullivan, and all those other wonderful friends. Anyone lurking, we just really appreciate you so much. Also, anyone listening on a download or a rerun or whatever, a rewatch, whatever you want to call it, thank you. Thank you so much. I just cannot tell you how much I appreciate it. I hope you will all hit the like button, and if you're new, subscribe, please. I'd appreciate that. In addition to looking into my description below and subscribing to a lot of those links, a lot of links to channels of a lot of great friends of mine, including, of course, Mark D's channel. Please go subscribe to his. So, let's see here. Of course, we want, again, as Raquel said, we single out our fantastic wrenches. The great Eric K. Thank you, brother, for being here. The Bronze Wrencher, you're the best, man. You are the dude. Appreciate you so much. Is also the great Vindicator Wrench of the North, Chris Persia. Thank you so much for all you do, Chris. I'm not sure if you had to run or not. The great Wrench of Iron, D. Bud Martin. Appreciate you so much, buddy. Appreciate you so much. And just thank you all so much for being here tonight. Thank you to our wonderful communications officer, Jill. Thank you, Jill, for being here. Appreciate you so much. The great Lord Thoth, and Lady Thoth. Always good to see you. Good to have you back, buddy. I mean, you may have run already, but the great Lord Thoth, always great to have him. Let's see here. J-Man popped in earlier. J-Man was here at the outset. Yay, J-Man. Shooter 8323. Thank you, buddy. The lovely, the beautiful Michelle O'Rourke Johansson. Michelle, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Take care, my dear, and be well. And have a happy Halloween. Well, happy Halloween to all of you, by the way. I forgot about that. I'm not much of the Halloween guy
Happy
per se,
Ween.
but yeah. Happy Ween. Pleasant Valley Picker had the run. Thank you for being here, Pleasant Valley Picker. Brian Hepburn. Brian Hepburn, thank you for being here tonight. Appreciate you, buddy. Dave G Sound, thank you for being here. Really appreciate you, man. I could bury that impersonation, but there's no fee. Just ask. You could probably easily destroy my impersonation. I bet you could do way better. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Kal-El, buddy, thank you for being here tonight, bro. Super one. Zathras had to run, believe it. Zathras, the man. Thanks, big shout out and thanks to the great Max Redstone for all you do, buddy. Thanks for all those great lyrics, brother. Appreciate you. You're too kind. Thank you so much. Das Wolfman, I think, had to run, but shout out to Das. Thank you, Das Wolfman, for being here. Let's see. My pen's running out. The lovely Sherry was here tonight. Always love that. See a beautiful lady hanging out with us. Love you, Shelly. Sherry, sorry. Well, I love Shelly as well. I just don't know her. They're not an Amanda Bear, my friend. Thank you for being here with us tonight. Phantom Outsider was here at some point, a little bit. Fanty, hope you're all right, man. The Catman, a.k.a. Dee Dee Myers. Hope you and your wonderful wife are doing well, my friend. Thank you.
Night, Dee Dee.
Dadman, the Dadman Clan. I believe they had to run, but shout out to the great Dadman Clan.
Dadman's in Orlando. I hope he doesn't drink too much with Nick Weiser.
Is he at the meetup? Is he meeting Nick?
He's at the meetup.
Nick, isn't he? Oh, man.
I think he is.
He better be meeting Nick if he's in Orlando. Yeah. That's where our buddy Nick is. About you, big shout out to.
You're posting pictures.
Yeah, we got a lot of friends out there. Are they? Well, good. We love Nick, and I hope he's having a good
have
time.
Fun, everyone.
Safe out there. Yeah, Nick's out there at Gary, the great Gary's meetup with Culture Casino and all the geeks and gamers people and all those great folks out there. So I envy them. I wish I could be there with them, but I hope they're having a fantastic time and a safe time tonight. And I think the big meetup's tomorrow, actually. All right. Okay. So enigmatic drop there. ED, thank you so much as always. Spectacular, my friend.
You were outstanding tonight. Thank you.
It was good to see the great Pat S hang with us tonight, man. Hey, Pat.
It was good to see him again. Did you see his comment? He said he misses the global geek.
Yeah, I kind of miss the global geek bang myself. It's just times are not everybody's at home at that time anymore like they were back during the So Tyrell, I think Tyrell may have had to run, but just in case, Tyrell 72, my friend.
I hope you had fun tonight, honey. Don't work too hard. Hope you had a good day at work. Mwah, mwah,
yes,
mwah.
indeed.
Happy Ween!
Happy Ween indeed. Again, big shout out and thanks to the great Michael Beacom for all you do, all that info and stuff. Thank you so much. And of course, also to the wonderful Cassandra Beacom as well.
Night, honey.
So, appreciate having you both here with us.
Be seeing you.
Be seeing you. Orville Nation just stopped by. The great PJ. PJ stopped by. All right, man.
My old partner in crime.
Always good to see you, PJ. I hope you're doing great. And then also, Maria T. and Tally stopped by. That was an honor to have you join us. Absolutely. And Rod Thunderheart as well. We can't forget those two because they came in at the last, they came in early and later. So great to see them. Rob Altus, hey, buddy. Thank you. And, buddy, thank you for cheering me up. Yep. Knowing that that those prisoner toys are in the States and starting to send them out and stuff. So hopefully I have mine before Christmas, and I can't wait.
Yeah, and kind of cool that we got to announce that on your channel.
Yeah.
Thanks to Rob being
Thanks,
here.
Rob.
Rob is a cool cat. Rob, thank you so much.
Big shout out again to the Felicianos and thank them both. Thank you both.
With your carrot cake. Fun your carrot cake.
I hate carrot cake, so I'm fine with it. You do it.
I love carrot cake, especially with cream cheese icing.
I don't like carrots. Why would I want cake of carrots?
There is some good carrot cake that my wife, one of our friends, makes a mean carrot cake. Oh, the recipe is so good. Oh,
big shout out to Apollome's Minion and the Pepperoni.
Pepperoni, pepperoni.
I'm sorry.
Simmy!
I messed it up. The Clobbering Tom's little puppy dog. Let's see here. Michael Carney, thank you for joining us. Appreciate that.
Yep.
Tim
nice
Stock.
to see you.
On your left, Tim Talks.
Tim Stock.
Classic Comics. Thank you for being here, my friend. Good to see you.
Good night.
A big shout out to the Wolfie and your great contributions, Wolfie, for the ships and stuff. Really appreciate all you do, my friend. Thank you. Grim, Dark, Inferior Terror showed up. Good to see you. Midnight's Oblivion, I think, had to run, but shout out to you. Thank you so much. Matt G was here. Matt G, thank you. Excuse me. Linrod, thank you for being here tonight. Appreciate you so much.
You were naughty and hysterical, and I love you, Lenrod. You had me in stitches. I had to mute my mic a couple of times. JT Kirk, I totally agree.
John Rendell was here as well.
Good night, John.
Keely Chow, roll that tide. You'll be rolling my Tigers next week. That's no doubt about it.
Night, Keely.
Captain Infinity and Beyond. Time travel. Master of Time. Snail Messiah, my friend. Good to see you.
Night, Snail.
Aravik Sundar. Thank you for
Yeah,
popping
nice
in.
to see you.
Gavatino Cavanman Shea. Shout out to you.
Good night.
My Lemon Pie. Thank you for being here.
I love lemon pie.
The great Hungry Boy.
Mwah, 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 mwah.
HB. Thanks for popping in, but I hope you get some sleep. Get some
Hungry
rest,
Boy.
man.
Yep.
DJ
Yeah, Minimus
Ronnie.
needs sleep too.
I was about to say that. When Minimus
Watch
Prime,
Andor.
get your ass to sleep. Watch Andor and take melatonin. The same thing, really. DJ Ronnie J. Thank you.
Like how he just slid that out.
Oh, yeah.
Insulted. It's great. Watch the Andor. Take melatonin. Same thing.
Same thing. And to call him Scuba Pete.
Scuba Pete and Leslie.
The great J.J. Kirk, buddy.
J.J. Kirk.
Let's see here. What was it? Citizen of the Universe was here. I said it. Thank you for being here. Stunt Brat was here. That's right. I forgot. Love you. Thank you for being here. Anonymous. You said Anonymous was here, right? I didn't see him bump in.
Yep.
Anonymous.
He listens when
that's fine.
if I understand it correctly, I try and read everyone's comments, but he
That's good.
he lives in a different timeline than us. I don't know. He might be in
fine.
Oz. I'm not sure, but he gets ready
he's not.
for work by listening to us, and then once he's ready for work,
Anonymous.
he's gone. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know. I thought you were okay. I thought you
Or it could just be that he works night shift. I don't know. I just know that.
No, I think he just works. I think he's from the States. Anyway, thank you so much, everybody. Really, really appreciate you being here with us tonight. Cannot wait to do it again. What a great crowd and a big crowd we had tonight. Just you're all the best. You mean so much to us. The show just would not ever be the same without you. So we're going to leave you with these very important messages and then some end credits. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend and have a happy Halloween, everybody. Ween indeed.
Take care, everyone.
It's clobbering time. I just love clobbering time.
Happy Halloween.